Hello, everybody, and welcome to day number 2 of the North American PCS group stage qualifiers for the PCS America's PCS4. That's the right. That's
We'll get
the
there
right
eventually.
nomenclature.
Yeah,
I got there eventually. Just took the scenic route a little bit. I'm Porosaurus. Joining me is Hypoc on the cast. Feeling a little bit under the weather, but we're so glad you stuck it out with us, buddy.
fresh as a daisy, me always.
Freshest daisy I've ever seen in my life. Well, today we have groups B and C, and we have a leaderboard from groups A and B yesterday, which we can bring up right now and show you and let you know where everybody stands. Now, of course, after the first day, TSM decided to pop off with those new 3 letters in front of their name. In particular, Penta just went bananas.
Yeah, just insane set of games yesterday. Like I said, it was similar to a couple of things I alluded to. Obviously, them just finding their groove, so to say, in coast mode. That's at least how it felt yesterday. And obviously now they've built themselves up a nice little buffer.
Not a bad buffer, is it? Nice 20-point
could be
buffer.
Worse. Yeah, it could be worse.
Worth noting, it's only one chicken dinner and 5 games, 5 different winners throughout that whole thing. Obviously not a factor for these group stages, but that will become more important down the line. Now, yesterday we did have groups A and B, but that did not include the team that I believe most people will probably have their eyes on coming into today, especially the Sonics.
Really? Oh, I mean, I would have thought most people had their eyes on TSM, right?
Well, yeah.
So that's surely the storyline of the week. We can milk it again for a couple more days,
All right.
Well, actually, no, I forgot. We're not allowed to talk about them. I forgot.
Oh yeah. I know.
Them's the rules.
Yeah, it's that's caster bias, is what I've been told. What I've been led to believe. But look, hey man, it's the Sonics. It's the original. The good roster. Well, I don't want to say the good roster. That sounds awful. But how about this? The PGIS winning roster is back in action, and they've been looking pretty strong leading into these tournaments, at least in scrims. But I mean, if Oath can tell us, scrim performance doesn't always equate to performance in the real games.
Doesn't equate to much more than 24 points, I guess, Par.
I guess not. I guess. Well, let me ask you: Are you expecting Sonics to come out here and make a statement today?
I am. Yeah. I think it's knowing them. I mean, actually, just knowing Shrimsy. To be fair, having any other team have the headline, he wasn't going to be happy watching that, and especially it being TSM and
that's fair.
And least of all Kurt.
Yeah, no, we can't have Kurt getting any more attention than he already gets. Really, it's if his head got any bigger, it'll throw off the entire gravitational pull of the entire Earth. But it's deserved in a lot of respects. And now that they have that TSM signing, we are excited for them. We are happy to see. We're also happy to see Penta doing really well. Just kind of
we do love to see
putting up those big numbers yesterday. But let's take a look, and before we get into the game, take a look at our overall damage leaders, overall kill leaders. Bring up whichever one you'd like first. There you go. Kills, Penta right up at the top, followed by Roth. Now, Spicy Fish are going to be in the lobby today. They are our highest placing Group B team. You got to watch a lot of this team yesterday. Do you expect them to kind of climb even more, maybe put this thing out of reach, or no?
I mean, potentially. Me and Steve were talking about this a lot. Obviously, in my eyes, I'd prefer to play the first and last. In terms of the days, at least for the week. So, Spicy Fish has got to put up what? What's reasonable?
I'm saying it's you don't want to just like say.
Well, the thing is, especially with this rotating group format, right? Look. Spicy Fish need to have the same day they had yesterday to walk away happy with this, right? If they were happy with the result from yesterday, then unfortunately, I think they've set the bar for themselves, right? At least the teams that are coming on to the last one, they have like a marker to match, right? They have something they're aiming for. Right now, it's difficult with obviously Spicy Fish in particular. They have to adjust on the fly, right? If there's any other variables, teams kind of overlapping or any mismatch in this lobby in particular, it's going to be difficult for them to really repeat that performance.
And we'll have to see what they have in store for today. New lobby. New spicy fish, who dis? Did want to shout out Edge, Nana from Edge, finding himself in that top 5. That's not a name that I believe we've ever seen in the top 5 of kills before, but nevertheless, there he is. And here's your damage, your top 10 or top 5 for damage. 2 up there, not too surprising. Penta and Luke, and then Honey Badger for the gas. Or ooh,
Ooh. Your eyes
gotta
okay?
Catch myself there. Gotta catch myself there. That is Honey Badger for Zenith, not the gas cans. That is also up there. And Zenith in 3rd place had a pretty good day for themselves as well.
Yeah, they did. It was ups and downs, but I mean, it's good to see. Obviously, the first iteration of that new roster, and definitely showed a little bit of promise. So, again, for me, there's got to be an allowance period for these rosters coming together and finding their feet. But already seen some big positives.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk about it all the time. You get a little bit of a slide for at least a couple of what would you say? How long would you say is an appropriate amount of time to give a brand new roster time to gel? Would you say a month, 2 months?
I mean, it did.
One event?
It really varies. If it's mid-event, right, and you're kind of thrown into the deep end, then actually I think that's shortened, right? If we're just saying to go through scrims and whatnot, this is the best possible test for them, right? So as soon as they can climatize in these kind of live competitive games, it's a better opportunity than just duking out scrims for a month, right? It's almost like you're going to have fewer circumstances to go away and really study things and kind of drill down pretty deep on the inner workings of a team.
Well, we are into game number 1. We've got 3 on Erangel, 2 on Miramar, 5 total for the day here for groups B and C. As a reminder, all of our Group A teams, including our lobby leading TSM, not playing here today, but those Sonics boys are back at it once again. And yep, it looks like they are going to have Pachinki to themselves. Shocker.
Yeah.
Edge is not going to challenge them here.
Yeah, it was. We talked about it a couple of times yesterday, and I mean,
there
as
was
well,
literally no way in hell that was ever going to happen.
You're trying to sound smart now. It doesn't suit you. There was a chance. There was a dude. If they were wiping clean, they were coming away and placing well. Then I don't know. Edge might have still done it. Like they needed more of a point buffer to justify doing it. Look, hey, who doesn't want to be the Opens team that drops on the PGIS champs and just like punks them out of Pachinki?
Apparently, Edge is they're just going to go and do the school.
See so much hate in chat now for it.
Well, look, hey, they literally just won PGIS, right? I mean, all due respect to Nana, you're up there at the top of the kill leaderboard. You're feeling yourself a little bit. I'm not dropping Sonics and Pachinki. Nah. No.
To lose, everything to gain, Poro.
Yeah, well,
you got a loser's attitude, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, tell that to 4 a.m. and DA after see how they feel about that one. Yeah, well, there you go. You see our first circle has gone up to the northeast, so we're getting a little bit of a 50-50. It looks like it's probably going to end up going north, but there's always that chance that it does cut back down south. We'll see what happens. I did notice yesterday that we had a circle kind of similar to this where everybody, it seemed, went north, and there's maybe like 1 or 2 teams that stayed down to the south.
Yeah, there's the interesting one that was the one when TSM dashed south to try and get hold of the flat top, right, and had to come back, and they ended up actually getting the god spot kind of opposite Rumblers in the end game. Yeah, it was interesting to see how many people actually kind of were all in on that move.
Really can't be going down there.
Yeah.
But we can see Fable looting up in South George. They do have a little bit of a company just off to their east in ETR. Eternity are top placing teams coming out of the open qualifiers, and so far, well, they're 12th. Okay, I'm looking on the leaderboard.
You're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
I'm like, so far, is it good? Is it bad? Is it whatever? I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, 19 points. They're in 12th. It's obviously not a great first day, but it's not a complete wash. As They're sitting right around that 20-point line, but we'll see if they can pick things up today.
Well, this is weird, right? So we were talking about this before we came on. Actually, with how top heavy it was yesterday, even the kind of middling teams that averaged like between 4 and 6 points per game. I mean, look at it. It's 19 versus 24, which is now with this new lobby kind of middle of the pack, right? And the gap from TSM to Spicy Fish is actually the same as Spicy Fish to Dodge, which is obviously group dependent. But
yeah,
it's just so weird with so many points being sponged up here. I mean, really, one game shifts pretty much 5th to 12th here, right? Like there's literally 15 points that separates that. It's crazy.
Yeah, especially early on. I know, I don't know how much you guys were talking about it yesterday, but the fact that it is top 6 moving on from this lobby and not top 8 is actually going to make it a little bit more interesting, because you talk about how clustered we usually see those points in between that 8th and like 13th, 14th position, at least in NA lobbies. Well, you don't really have that option now. You've got 6s is going to be a lot more difficult to get.
Yeah, it really will. Obviously, we do have the opportunity of last chance qualifiers when we come to it, but you're right, because I think that cluster will sit very different this time around, that we're not playing for top 8. And yes, it's only 2-team difference, but I mean, really, with how this is shaped up early on, I think we're going to see that in reality.
Yeah, I mean, you look at our big guys, your TSM, Spicy Fish, Zenith, presumably the Sonics, that's already 4 or 5 spots taken right there. So and if Oath decides to wake up, maybe we'll see them up there as well. Right now we're taking a look at the Sonics, trying to find a spot here, taking a few shots from Eternity over in crates, but for the most part they look like they will be okay. T8 has already set up across the river in a 2-2 split, the 2 of them over in Cube, and that is going to put a break on Sonics trying to make their way across the river. A lot of these teams actually going for more control over this river, thinking that there's still possibly an opportunity that this does go south, and Comets might be in trouble here.
I was gonna say 300 actually kind of spreading themselves out a little bit across the plane crash, and Comets rotate up as 4. Later's got to respect it for the time being. A little bit of distance between him and it's actually Pat might catch line of sight here. Doesn't actually open up straight away, but there you go. We'll spot the deeper player and actually get some shots down. A little bit of damage in, and Comets might be able to stabilize here. And 300 I'll let them in. They've got to settle for sharing this now.
And not a bad setup here from Comets. You actually pushing in a little bit close there, but not too terribly so. And they've got a little bit of a wide split. They also, it's basically like trench warfare here for the time being between these two. Nobody really going for the wide flank. I mean, except for maybe Nefahor.
Yeah, Nefahor was drifting south initially. I mean, that was their setup, but Monty's actually going to open up and find Vox here. So an opportunity for Comets to push through and secure some of these kill points if they wanted to. Now Nefahor becomes the one that needs to stop this from happening, doing as much damage as possible. Then actually bouncing through the rubble. Not actually going to find anything because they're inside the back end here. But yeah, eyes towards Nefahor now.
Ooh, head kick. Knocked really low by that good grenade from Drassel as well. And now there you go. Nefahor going to come up and strike at the perfect opportunity here. That's going to put the brakes on that Comets push. They have to pull back and stop a little bit now, knowing not only that Nefahor has that southern wrap, but that the res has most likely also gone off as well. PK will come up over the top. We'll find head kick. Drassel coming in as well from that northern side to complete the wrap here. You're actually just going to go be left to bleed out here. Vox gets knocked very low, but not enough to knock him. Nefahor will send another nice grenade in onto Monty, knocks him down to about half. 300 have regrouped, and they're pushing around as a group as well, and that might actually catch Comets off guard.
Try and reset back over to the west here, but
the southern shots.
Yeah, the third party coming in later is going to take a lot of damage there. That kick will get flushed out. 300 down to 3 now, and it looks like actually Comets are trying to stabilize and get 4 back on their feet. Try and stabilize in this fight, but actually, yeah, look, I was going to say ATC's line of sight on this is they're going to be kind of forcing 300 to make a move onto Comets.
Unfortunately for 300, P8 took a few shots over at ATC, forced them to push their head back down. Drassel going to get taken out by Vox as the smoke wall has been laid down. Leda still okay. There you go. He's going to get the heal off. Vox down to about half HP. Drassel a little bit separated from everybody. Leda going to go for the wide flank around to the north, using those rocks, using that ridge line. Neff and Vox will hold the backside, and Neff going to find one. He can't find two though, as Monty will finish him. And now Comet's down to two. Drassel does get flushed on that northern side. Pat Caps and Monty, the last two up. Pat Caps using the rock perfectly, and that will do it for 300. Yaxley should get rezzed here. Comets will be back up to 3, and I'm looking at the map. They look free and clear. Nobody coming anywhere near them.
Yeah, big fight for dead center right now. It's again a lot pinned on that. I don't think 300 really had the opportunity to pull back, especially when that first knock comes through. I think maybe they're expecting nobody from Comets had got that close already or got into utility range to at least lay down that initial damage and then find the knock. But good recovery from Comets. Honestly, as soon as Neferhor kind of traded back one knock, I thought there was a chance where things could actually tip back in 300's favor. But the third party from ATC kind of kept them honest for the time being. And then I think a little bit of a desperation push, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that third party. Oh, look at this circle. Okay, we're cutting down to the south again, and it's going to be full 50-50. And look at all those teams off to the north that are going to have to make moves. Oath with their long wrap in the northern part of Severny. You've got Ascendants in the southern part of Severny, No Cap, Afromaniacs, and True Sight in that bright red. I'll be moving as well. Spicy Fish just made their way across that Georgia Pole Bridge, and they're going to have to throw it in reverse once again and send it back. Fable looks like they were interested in getting on the move here, but looks like Faye might have run into ATC.
There's T8 looking pretty golden right now, to be honest.
They're fantastic, aren't they?
Not a million miles away from, I think, the Circle 3 we saw yesterday. So lots more space here for teams to maneuver their way in. Actually, as we keep my eye on a couple of teams over to the north here, but it's like Cap and Oath are not actually going to cross paths initially. It looks like they may actually get into it, but yeah, lots still up for grabs, to be honest, Borrow here. Dodger spread pretty thin. Edge over on the high ground as well. They're kind of well situated to greet Send coming in from the east also.
Checking in with those Spicy Fish. They've made their way back down south. There's a lot of real estate down there around Ruins and points west of Everest. But you got to assume that this is probably going to go north again. I don't know. I really don't know. The circles have been acting so crazy lately.
Dude, they were hard west yesterday all day. Literally just everything was west.
I mean, this very well could hard shift down to the south here in Circle 3 and favor the southern side of the river. And if that's the case, Spicy Fish Sonics are going to be absolutely set up, but that's still some time away. We'll see what happens. True Sight, they do lose Red Rider somewhere along the rotation, but they have the northern part of the circle fairly to themselves here, taking a few shots towards that rotating No Cap. Nana, and kills on him from yesterday. He's going to find another one here in Lampalot as the Team Edge catches Dodge, maybe a little bit split out here.
Yeah, this is, I mean, the setup we were just talking about, right? Dodge was spread very thin along this. You can see, I mean, you can't even see it on the minimap, but Vegas close enough by, but Hello Senpai and elsewhere, no position to kind of fend back any of this damage here. And again, Nana's kind of drifted out from Edge being kind of split across the high ground. So Nana finding this kill is going to relieve a lot of the pressure here, but gotta be careful because Send, the team I was talking about coming from the east now, actually look as if they're pulling up on Shireen.
Shireen might be in trouble here as Edge might. Yep, there you go. Tries to get out of there quickly, but Maji quick on the trigger. Is going to find him, and that's going to be Edge knocked down to 3.
That's it, right? They're taking two kind of different directions on the extremities here. Nana looking west and nothing really to back up Shireen. There was nobody in position to stop that from happening, right? There was no pressure at all onto Send.
Yep, Shireen had the right idea, I feel like. I mean, he had the motorcycle within reach. Ready to go. But unfortunately, just a little bit too slow as we check and see where our next circle goes. Okay. Well,
it's a west day.
You called it. You called it. All right. So, I mean, this has to go south, doesn't it?
Well, that's what we said yesterday. And it went north.
Oh, no. Oh,
yeah,
no.
I think this is slightly further to the southwest than yesterday. I'm sure Somebody will post it on Reddit and call me an idiot, but yeah, it's about the same here. But now, actually, conversely from what I was saying earlier, not an awful lot up for grabs, right? With how kind of the middle of this circle plays out and the river's still splitting this up, there's not an awful lot of, I guess, real estate or playable spots for full teams to situate themselves in. Take also into account there's basically 2 choke points to get across to the south, right? Dodge have an opportunity to wrap outside the circle. Ascendants also, actually, if they're wise about the time here, which it looks like they might be. But yeah, it's going to be difficult. There's 2 big bottlenecks in this circle now, Poro.
Yeah, a few teams took the opportunity to try to eat a little bit of blue damage and just take the long wrap. Here's one of them, Ascendants, just following right behind Dodge. And you can kind of look over, honestly, over on the western Georgia Bowl bridge, Liberate took the opportunity to make a push there. No Cap was kind of right behind them, but still decided to stay in that North George apartments area. So we'll see how that plays out for him late here. Oh, no, Afromaniacs.
I mean, you say, oh no, how have they got through with 4? Like, they actually crossed the bridge.
I don't know. The bridge in the dead center of the circle, and they managed to get across with 4. Not only get across with 4, but they managed to take a hold inside these crates. That is, wow. Somebody see what kind of rabbit's foot Afromaniacs is using right now, because they got away with one there for free.
I think as that happened, somebody from Feywood actually got a knock onto ATC, which is the team holding the flat top, controlling that bridge, right? So there's a chance that was the one person ready to lay down some damage. But yeah, I mean, I take my hat off to them. Fair play on that rotation to get through unscathed.
That is a situation where all timings had to be correct. It says 3 teams were all in
2 vehicles as well. There's 4 people in 2 vehicles.
Yeah. And Eternity was kind of split too, because they were fighting Liberate, who just crashed in behind them. So there was no real person to just kind of look at them, except for maybe Sonics. And Sonics, I think, has been busy shooting over towards T8 and Oath here, as we see Oath trying to wrap underneath Cube and try to get a little bit better position for Kickstart to fight. This is, oh man, I don't know about this one. This is dicey stuff for Oath here.
I mean, knowing that the T8 have taken casualties, I'm actually totally against it here, because, you know, they have enough pressure to potentially stop the push coming onto the rocks, onto the waterfront at least. Crop and Steezy BB kind of forced to kind of, I guess, play this passively. They're going to try and lay some shots into Bale, and
Jesus, this thing goes south.
Actually, Relo's heading north.
Yeah, Relo, I think, was the tail end. Started taking a little bit too much damage, and does he actually? Where is he going? He's going across the bridge.
Okay,
he's going across the bridge, and he's getting a sniper tower. And now Oath has control over one of the only bridges to lead into the south. Now that the circle has shifted south, so I mean, 300 IQ play coming out from Oath here, and the fact that they're able to get away with it is huge. ATC will find themselves a little bit of room to work with here. Mellon will go down, might be able to get that res off unless his toesies get taken out.
Still.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Eagleton just has nothing for it. Yeah, Ella Senpai gonna go down there, do a well-placed grenade from Uncivil, as Spicy Fish took the top of Everest early, and now it is paying off some dividends.
Again, playing in anticipation of the shift exactly. So actually, I mean, it was a center.
A bounce.
Vegas dealt with swiftly, and I was gonna say the remnants of Ascendants was one of the teams that did opt to wrap through, take a little bit of blue damage, but just Liberate had to get themselves to the bottom of Everest, and TS trying to pull up on him now.
Yeah, TS gonna find an opening knock onto Jason. Arson working up a little bit higher, see if he can find somebody on the edge of that smoke. Not gonna see it for now. I'm seeing a lot more AKs in play recently, it feels like. Well, that's just a terrible model. Come on, Arson. With a name like Arson, you would figure.
Yeah, you'd think that'd be on point, man.
Well, the AK shots are on point, if nothing else, and he's gonna find him. Jason will survive, though. He gets a little bit lit there as he's running away. Shoot the flaming man! Zilmox will find him, as he was well, it's pretty hard to hide when you're literally running away on fire. As the rest of Liberate will try to send some utility over, but have to worry also about that, as you said, the shots from Roth from the top. Spicy Fish sending some big damage. And it's not even Spicy Fish. It's literally just Roth. Nobody else sending shots down here. But that is one man who can land some big shots.
I mean, this is the beauty, right? If you're in a position where nobody's actually contesting the top of Everest, you can spread very thin like this. And actually, it can be one player to put all this damage down. There's a couple of bridge trolls here. There's another team to the west of it. It's a full four-man. It's a full four-man of No Cap coming through behind Fabled.
No Cap wanted this. No Cap had the option to go for that Georgia Pole bridge, and they decided to go into the apps. So this is all on them. Whatever happens here, Venox is going to go down. They're eating a bunch of blue damage. Simply Matt going to be the last one up for Fabled. He will.
He goes to the blue.
Roasted, but dies to the blue. Oh my God.
No Cap is dead as well.
Yeah.
Surely.
I mean, they have to be, don't they? Steezy finally gonna go down. The bridge troll himself, Glucose Father 69, will go down. Crop will stay alive though. Keep T8 in it for a little bit longer here, as No Cap does indeed go down to the blue eventually. Sonics, I mean, they've been watching Netflix, Disney Plus, and Hulu. I mean, they've had plenty of time because they've been just vibing in there. Yeah. They've just been hanging out in that compound for ever now, and everything has kind of gone their way. We'll see. I'm not sure what their kills are probably looking like, and probably not too phenomenal, but we know those guys can find kills everywhere. So, okay, there you go, 3 kills. That'll be all right.
Wait, what? As I said that, but you actually just found 2 knocks onto Sonics. That's from north side of the river as well.
Of the river, yeah.
They've opened this up. They could potentially crash onto this if they can get close enough. If they can close the distance, they might actually crash onto the flat top.
Oh, and they are quick in the cars and already on their way. Yaxley and Monty are going to lead the way. They're going to crash both sides. Wynn going to throw out the grenade. Not going to find anything, though. Monty, PK will go down to his own negligence, unfortunately, and that turns this 3-man push into a 2-man push all of a sudden. Monty will find H-Win. H-Win will finish off Pat Cass. Monty going to take a little bit of fire damage here as he slowly ticks down. The reses have come through for Sonics, though, so what was looking like a really well-timed and well-intentioned push from Comets falls apart as soon as Pat falls out of the vehicle.
Yeah, he's still bleeding out right now, but again, Sonics should have enough utility to clear this out, I guess, with relative ease, right? They've been sat here. They haven't really had to burn any utility. Actually, you're finally going to get a smoke down on H-Win, but Yaxley and Monty still alive and kicking for the time being. Well, they can work anything back into this fight.
And this went really quickly from a Comets push into some Comets tower defense here as Sonics have to regroup a little bit. They will get that res onto H-Win. Will most likely then get all healed up and take them individually one at a time, I would imagine. We'll see if the Comets can hold things off here. Meanwhile, the fight for Everest continues. A Spicy Fish still holding on top, and that is a well-placed nade from Roth there. Worth noting that Keenan is rocking the bolty. God, I love that. Love to see it. Ascendance goes down as well to Oath, who have somehow, I don't even know how, managed to keep 4 up in this thing.
Yeah, honestly, I thought they might take at least 1 casualty. It seems that cross from Relo earlier and the other 3 playing the river actually paid off for them here. And
might have been the Comets crash.
Potentially, yeah, could have left a window of opportunity for them to get away from the Wizard Tower and situate themselves at the bottom of Everest. Now, Spicy Fish, with this circle pulling away and towards ATC's ice cream, there's not a lot of options for them. Now, I don't know where their vehicles are. If they've got to come down on foot, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. Because there's not a lot of things for other people to shoot. I mean, actually, with Comets sharing the compound with Sonics, that's one team potentially that could just lay down free fire onto Spicy Fish as they run the open. They are kind of preoccupied with what's going on in the compound.
Yeah, keeping an eye on Sonics. They're still taking shots up at the mountain range while they still can. There you go. You can see Shrimsy getting the knock on to Uncivil as Spicy Fish tries to make their way down. So Sonics being able to multitask here a little bit. I guess they're kind of in a spot now where, okay, you know where Comets are, you know what their lines of sights are. They're not going to push you individually. So, you can kind of just let them sit there for the most part. Here's Vexel, 1 HP. Oh, that's about as close as it gets there. Jumbi gonna try to run down low. He's going to keep that tree in between him and ATC. Avoids the line of sight for right now. And Oath has managed to rain right up on top of Spicy.
Yeah, I was going to say, Oath actually tried to wrap up and prevent Spicy Fish from coming down. Now, they don't have an awful lot of options. So the fact that they're trying to invest this much to try and get some kill points here. Yeah, look at that. It's going to give them potentially an opportunity to push through and clean up Spicy Fish. Keenan just finds a bush for the time being, hoping that Oath get peppered through. But actually, Kickstart going to spot him out there. There you go. We'll deal with the last one. Spicy Fish eliminated.
The drive-by onto the Bush Monster, as we've got ATC in a compound. You got Sonics have finally taken care of Comets, and will well, we got a very sneaky crop hanging out on that noise. Oh, well, never mind. He's been spotted. H-Win has his good goggles on today, and we'll spot him out. Oath laid down that nice smoke wall to kind of make their way from east to west, but now Sonics has absolutely nothing else to pay attention to other than what's going on this hill. This is it. This is going to be the push. They get a good knock onto ATC. Oh no, the tire.
Oh no.
Did you get a tire? No.
Not sure if it was a tire or they just hesitated there. A bit of an audible call.
They did. Yeah.
Not to hit the ice cream, but the knock came through, and now they're in a very precarious position. Reload's still up on the hillside. Kickstart gonna try and get some distance away, at least hide inside the smoke for the time being. Reload gets spotted out by Tiggleton now.
Oh yeah, that second guessing may have cost Oath there, as they immediately pump the brakes and turn back to the rock instead of going for the full crash after they lose Balefrost. And now they are stuck at a rock. Well, fortunately for them, the rock is still in circle. We'll see if they can stick it out for a little bit longer. The amount of utility from ATC looks pretty low here. They do have a few mollies in hand.
That's surprising.
Yeah, that's about it.
I mean, both teams now enough time. Well, another 25 seconds at least to just be laying down the hammer onto Oath. Kickstart going to get knocked here. Snakers presented with a bit of a dilemma. He's actually going to, not going to be able to get a smoke down and save that. What are you doing, Norcus? That is way overzealous. Way overzealous. We'll give one away and effectively give a further advantage to Sonics now.
Well, he got the kill on the Snakers. I guess if that was the goal, that was what was accomplished. But how much did you give away for it? Sonics use that opportunity to move a little bit closer. H-Win takes a lot of damage, but doesn't go down. 10 kills in the bag for Sonics already. And they get these final two and the win to go with it. They wanted to come into this day making a statement, especially after their arch nemesis TSM. It's such a big day one as well. This is a good way to do it right now. ATC also with 10 kills. Icy Flex popping off.
Yeah, I mean, ATC getting here in the first place was impressive nonetheless, but now unfortunately a two-man advantage for Sonics, and Flex still up on the top there. Masterlek actually going to get picked off, and that leaves it wide open now. Potentially somebody from Sonics just going to pull up and try and put an end to this game. See how the drive-by potentially coming through. Up on the rooftop. Swiftly dealt with, and a good first game from Sonics here. 12 kills and the dub.
A really nice first game from Sonics, and this is what we're waiting for, wasn't it, chat? I mean, this is Sonics that we wanted to see back, the full roster back in action. Mime back with them. They get 12 kills. Mime gets 3 of them, 4 going into the pocket of Tig, 3 to H-Win, and 2 to Shrimsy. So a big 12 kill win in the first game there for Sonics. But some teams that also needed to make a statement coming in pretty strong here. ATC, I mean, you can't take anything away from what they did there.
No, you can't. Another shout out to Oath as well. I mean, they had a rough day yesterday. Like I said, 24 points on the day. So to get a good start here, I mean, they did pick up. I feel as if they did pick things up on Miramar, at least in the home stretch of yesterday. So to come in and find a decent kill stack here in game one is a positive for me from them.
Yeah, I mean, 9 kills and a third for Oath in that game. With the way everything went, I mean, you know, they obviously loot Milta and then wrap around all the way on the north side and have to
Yeah,
work their
exactly.
way
Yeah.
all the way down. I mean, that was about as brutal of a game as you're going to find for Oath, and they still managed to pull 9 kills and a third out of it. So that is a good thing to see if you are an Oath fan. Well, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have our leaderboards ready for you, and we will get ready to go into game number 2. So, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You hurt me, you did, several times. It hurts to admit that we're no different. I find it hard to commit, but you don't even try. Still I'm better with than without you. Oh, I'm on it, I want it, but why do you seem to call in your eyes? I can't tell if you're here or you're out there. Do you wanna be out there? You don't need to be Prince Charming to me. I just need this to be real. I don't need no fairy tale. You don't need a killer pregnant for me. Ooh, I don't need no fairy tale. We run and go still every time. Whatever it is, I keep on trying. 'Cause it ain't hard to forgive when you know what it's like. That's why I'm better with than without you. Oh, I'm on it, I want it, but why do you seem to call in your eyes? I can't tell if you're here or you're out there. Do you wanna be out there? You don't need to be Prince Charming to me. I just need this to be real. I don't need no
Mm. Hello, everybody. We are back once again. We have one game in the books, which saw Sonics come through as your big winner. 12 kills, 10 placement points, good for 22 points overall. And that is going to be good enough to put them on the leaderboard, which we'll see, the overall leaderboard, which we'll see here in a second. Hypoc.
Yeah, I mean, actually, just look at this, 2 points off what Oath managed in the entire day yesterday. So,
Yikes.
really good start for them. But like I said, you know, Oath put up a good game one, so I'm hopeful things can turn around here, at least in day two. Notable performance really from Spicy Fish as well, getting up there early, at least securing some kill points before. I'd say an unfortunate shift meant that nothing on Everest at all was playable there. But getting up and getting active, you know, putting up 7 points on a game where you kind of get, I don't want to say screwed out of it by the circle, but at least, you know, they didn't have a lot of options to play in after that.
It was definitely rough. I mean, especially when you've been holding that top of that Everest for quite some time, been shooting it literally any and everything that has come around you, to where everybody knows exactly where you are. It's rough to have to push down off of that when the circle decides to go away from you. Well, let's see what the overall leaderboard looks like after that first game is done. TSM still in first place. Spicy Fish starting to catch up a little bit, only 12 points behind, but Sonics, one game, 11th place.
Not bad. And the chicken dinner on the board as well, to be fair. It could be I mean, game one coming out, getting the win, potentially be our first to pick up 2 wins along the way. Hopefully don't repeat what happened to the Rumblers yesterday. I mean, they came out and won game one, and I think for the rest of it, only managed to string together 17 points across the other games. So yeah, looking at that, actually not an awful lot of movement elsewhere. I mean, Dodge creep up a little bit. Afromaniacs, I can't remember what place they went out in the previous, but yeah, things kind of staying pretty similar after match 6 here.
Well, we are almost ready to get into game number 2. Let's see, do we have any damage numbers from that one? Let's take a look. Maybe we have some kills. Maybe we have some damage. Let's see who came out on top in that one. No surprise seeing Icy Flex up there at the top with those 6 kills. He popped off for ATC there. Is this going to be one of those ATC days, maybe, where we see them just look like absolute lobby killers, and we start talking them up and be like, man, this team is really good, and then the next day they get like 4 points?
If there's one thing we know about this region, it's that we have a Fabled day and we have an ATC day. There's always one of both of them. But I'm all for it. I'm all for it. If ATC want to have a good day today, it's always fun to see them frag out.
I like to call that the Dodge special. Where you get 50 points in one day and look amazing, and then the next day it's just like you forgot to show up. But we'll see if they can get something going here today. Norcus and Icy Flex up there in the top of the damage. Mime and Tiggleton not too far behind. Snakers as well in 5th place overall. As it came down to just a weird circle, didn't it? I mean, that's kind of been the story, it feels like, for some of these Erangel circles, where it looks like it's going to do something that you think it's going to do. You get all planned for it. You think it's going to go north, and then, oh my God, it cuts all the way to the south, and now you're playing around Everest, and you have to find your way across the river through 15 teams, and it's just a total train wreck. Well, let's see what game 2 has in store for us this time, as the boys are in the air.
Yeah, it's a little bit further over to the north, I'd say. Here, lots of it's the south and the southwest of the map, unattainable here for some teams, but I mean, Pachinki going to be attainable, but Gatka and whatnot going to be a little bit further of a stretch. Have to see if there is any overlap this time around. Again, game 1, we didn't see any contest for Pachinki, which was the big one. I'll be honest, I was looking forward to. I know you weren't, but I was.
It was never going to happen.
Can't say things like that, man.
Just
because it's America's now, it's not NA. It doesn't mean that it's just not going to happen.
All right,
and forget your roots, Poro.
I know. All right, fine. Maybe it'll happen. Who knows? It's not game 6 yet. Game 6, 100%. I would have said maybe it'll happen, but
okay.
We'll see. We'll see if anybody runs into each other going for vehicle. Doesn't look like it. Looks like everybody's want to be fairly secure in themselves. Fabled and Eternity are about the closest to each other as we get a very vanilla, very kind, dead center circle. As
Look at that
will probably
300
be
split.
where? Oh my goodness, Neferhor
Yeah.
away in mini Yaz up there, and you got Vox all the way in Cube. That is some real estate being covered there by 300.
So you can either say that that's like historically a gas can split, or you could say it's like a 2019 Dignitas, which obviously is SDK. When they just literally used to spread just the greediest drop ever on Erangel. Like anything north of Rossok River was basically just, yeah, that's Dignitas's. If it's a compound north of the river, don't even bother.
Don't even worry about it. You're gonna end up getting ratted out when you least expect it. Well,
I used to try and defend that as well. It was,
of course he did. Of course he did. That's Kurt. Of course, I mean Kurt's running M249s these days. Because my opinion is because he found out that he majority of his damage and kills that he's gotten through grenades, so he had to try to increase his kill count. It was
convert
like
to some
accuracy through
bullet
volume,
hose.
man. Yeah, you know, like I can't hit my bullets, so let me just get more bullets, and then I'll hit more. Easy, done.
Genius.
Yeah, I'm sure he's in the chat. We'll probably get confirmation here shortly.
I saw some kind of joke actually. He was tweeting out about streaming. It was, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know. I had to take a double glance.
Huh.
A watch party.
Wow. Damn. All right. I guess you get signed to TSM. All of a sudden, you find out how to work OBS. I guess that's how it works. In the world of Purdy Curdy.
Good for him.
Good for him, indeed. I'm still gonna watch Penta though.
Yeah.
Here we take a look at Ascendants leaving Yasnaya. They got 2 in the vehicles and they are making their way, but there is Huni in that world famous at this point J building, where we saw DA and 4 AM fight so many times during PGIS, but it looks like Huni gonna go ahead and dip on out as Raven and Maji take a look at the lay of the land in front of them.
Looking at you, Sonics would be, I mean, the first expectation to make moves up to Potato, but it looks like they're actually going to maintain a 2-2 split for the time being. There's 300 from their wide split drop here. Looks like they've actually pulled north to try and camp Afromaniacs here on this rotation. You can see they're set up perfectly for it. Therefore, not going to take any shots now. Are they just going to try and shadow them here?
You always take a shot at the last guys for sure. Vox going to take a few with that AK. Definitely be doing some damage to the vehicle itself, but Light Show himself will remain unscathed, at least for now. And that's going to be Afromaniacs pulling on through. But, well, they elect to go towards the Razak Bridge,
Which is
where
also
T8 is going to be waiting. Yeah, this is... If nothing else, I guess 300 did push them off of that Yaz bridge, and they've now forced Afromaniacs into this weird Razak bridge push where William will take a few shots over there. But fortunately for them, T8 wasn't really too set up to do a camp here, and they're going to get away with it just fine, it seems.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to posture up a little bit, but looks like they actually... Afromaniacs sending it right into the midst of Ascendants here. Z-Lock going to open things up onto Free Me Please.
See, they got away with the craziest rotation on Earth in game 1, and now they got a head on their shoulders. So now they try to do it again, and they have lost 2. Light Show and Supernova going to be pushing through. Show also with that bullet hose. See if he can find one. Okay, there you go. He's going to find Zraven. Goes down Maji, still holding the upside, but T-Sock has now arrived. Ascendants collapsing on it, and they will take out Afromaniacs.
Yeah, just, I mean, can't really find anywhere to call home. And it's unfortunate, really, because Tactical A were split at 2-2. So if they'd have just opted to hit that compound, I think they come out on top of that, honestly. They were grouped up enough where I think they can take a clean kind of 4v1 on the first person, which was William, if I'm not mistaken. Now Tactical A actually have more problems over here now, Paro.
And Crop all by himself here. William, the rest of the gang off to the east. Oh, Crop can can find one, can find two, can he get three? He's on the wall, and can he find one more? Vox, no, Vox puts an end to his rage campaign. But will that ring the dinner bell for the rest of T8 to crash onto this? You can see Destinator already in the vehicle, William on foot, trying to make the run, and they are pushing onto this quickly.
I think they've managed to close the distance and get into utility range, though, but where's Steezy? Where's Steezy in all this?
Still in Razak.
He's on the west side of Roz, yeah. So Tactical 8 were spread pretty thin here, trying to hold on to, I guess, Garden and a very wide hold onto Rozok as well. Maybe just an information setup here, but Crop, unfortunately, I mean, I say unfortunately, he nearly caught the third as well. Does manage to get one flush out of it, so at least take somebody down with him.
And it's a little late on the regrouping from T8 as they do drop in Razak. They do loot Razak, but I mean, 7 minutes in, you would figure they would. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense to have leaving Steezy on that west side of Razak and looking from that west side to see if they get approached. But unfortunately for them, 300 just crashes right down on their doorstep from the north side, and they are not in a position to respond to what was looking like pretty nice hold from one of their members that I can't remember now. Crop. I think it was Crop.
Sure.
Why not? Well, Oath is on the move, and they've got nothing but open fields and wide open places in front of them south of Yaz. They're starting to creep a little bit farther west. First thing they might come in contact is Ascendance in the J building, maybe No Cap at the base of the eastern base of Potato Mountain. Edge still on that high ground here, but it looks like Oath is content with just kind of hanging out over here. It looks like 300 is moved to cruising through Razak. We'll see if they can spot out Steezy, or Steezy can maybe sneak another one off of them here.
Let's find one. Yeah, Later's going to fall, and he's going to be able to reset and get this nade off. Head kick not full swinging onto this just yet, but look at the reinforcements coming through. Vox going to get knocked off that nade, and the perfect setup here from Tactical 8 going to collapse, try and smother. Oh, the team nade don't
go down to your own grenade. Oh, that was so close.
I actually thought it might knock Desi out of the car.
Oh, Head Kick's still alive, and Head Kick gonna find Steezy and get the flush as well. That is not what you wanted there if you're T8. And they'll see if Head Kick can do some solo heroics. William will be put on hold here as a nice Molotov from Head Kick will force T8 to pump the brakes. He's taken over the roof. Molotov is out. William is on the move. Head Kick is on the roof and is relatively safe right now as well. And do you take the risk of maybe trying to go for the res on the box here?
No, not unless you can find these kills immediately.
What
was that?
Okay,
there was a moment
quick
there.
sidestep there because that
there was a moment
that was
there.
looking dangerous. Looks like okay, it looks like yep, T8 did end up getting rid of Head Kick, so that will be T8 quote unquote winning Razak with 2 players remaining. As we wait and see where the second circle decides to take us, and look at that, Oath getting a little bit of circle love this time.
For a change, they haven't got to bounce from one side of the map to the other. Well, I mean, let's see how they set up here. Whether they're going to try and play this one out positionally, or try and put some kill points on through the mid game. They're going to have a good opportunity at least splitting a couple of center compounds. Looks like they're going to prioritize towards Volcano. Ascendant still grouped up at the compound to the southwest. Obviously, we know they were there in an earlier engagement.
And this is kind of it almost feels like a little bit of a weird situation for Oath because they came in from that north side. They know that they have all that real estate,
exactly.
all those compounds available. So it's almost like an embarrassment of riches right now. They've got to decide exactly what they want to hold and how much they want to hold right now. And it looks like, yeah, they are going to opt for that wide 2-2. See if they stick with that for now, as ATC is on the move, trying to head right in that same general area. Looks like they were driving past Alamo. Marcelic likes it and pull on in.
Yeah. I don't like it as 4. If ATC are going to keep 4 here, again, it's a big gamble. send 4 down to Alamo in circle 2. But I mean, coming in here with not a lot of information, they potentially can make a play up towards Volcano. And again, actually, in that scenario, Oath have got to be careful, right? If any team is trying to transition into this, with it being a pretty severe shift to the northeast, some teams might just opt to say, yeah, as 4-man, we're going to pull up, we're going to hit a compound, let's go for it.
I think one of the other things about this is that I swear to God, that is one of the most crashed compounds.
Yeah, it is. There's desperation crashes in the late game as well. That's why I hate it, because there's so many spots. If this keeps centering up, there's so many spots that can see into that, and you just kind of, you just have to sit there and exist. That's all you can do. You can't really make a play for anything late game out of it.
Yeah, it is. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it works out for them. They've got their spot to play. We check in with the Comets. You can see them wrapping through farm right now, just outside of circle. They've got, yes, right in front of them, True Sight be getting in range of dodge here. As you can see, a few shots coming out from that general direction. Spicy Fish also just off to the west on Civil, repositioning, getting a little bit of a hillside position, gaining a little bit more information. Fabled, meanwhile, coming in from that western side. Rozhok is clear. The Rozhok Hills are clear, so that'll be a nice little spot for Fable to play, although they will have to not play it on this side, as Liberate is firmly in control of package and Mini Poach. Well, you know, when you run over your own guy, that kind of opens the door for Finna to get out of there pretty easily. So they will get the Hall of Fame to themselves. Comets, meanwhile, looks like they'll take a few shots over in this direction. Vegas also sending a few over towards the True Sight boys.
I think Lamp's actually just figuring out how much space there is to the north here. You can see he's drifted away over. He's like, guys, nobody is anywhere.
There's literally everything. Well, unfortunately,
doesn't count for anything.
There you go.
Finn is straight heading back south, looking straight back at, okay, I'm not wasting my time.
No more worries about that. We can see Oath already back on the move. They're gonna pull all 4 back together. Fabled in vehicles as well, coming from that northern side, but this southeast side is what's gonna look kind of interesting here. You got Spicy Fish, you've got Dodge, you got Comets and True Sight. All are gonna have to make moves here. There is somebody. I don't think anybody had vision on Oath, so I don't think they know that they can just backfill that ghost compound for free. But we'll see if they spot that out. Fabled, meanwhile, making their way through Roz. Here we go.
I was going to say, actually, Lampalot was the one that was potentially in position to spot that, but I think the call maybe was to try and regroup and play edge, at least towards tempo dip, which now, actually, look at this. Yeah, TS actually going to be trailing Comets in rotation. They're going to find Yaxley on the way out.
They actually, what were we just saying? The full crash onto that Alamo position. You see it so many times. And Comets lose one for it, and Drassel loses a tire. Looks like he should be okay. Monty under some pressure as well. Vegas is going to find him through the smoke and flames of his exploded car, or his flipped car. Is that an exploded car, or is it just flipped?
That's just flipped.
Monty, what did you do? Oh, no. Well, Comets loses 2 just like that. Pat Cap's going to have to leave and head south, and it's going to be Drassel and Pat playing this as solos from this point forward for Comets. We'll see how far they get as True Sight takes advantage of the 2-2 split.
I think Spicy Fish smell blood in the water here, but Roth, playing with fire, trying to, I guess, send a feeler out towards tempo dip, and didn't like what he was seeing. But yeah, Spicy Fish looking to kind of, I guess, flex forward and capitalize on all this pressure on the east side of the circle, at least now with a few teams taking casualties and a little bit battered. Now Roth will return. He will come back and play towards new compound now. True Sight actually now chasing down Drassel once again. And he's missing a tire, so it's not going to be easy for him to get away. Look, he's going to force all the way towards Uncivil, actually.
It's actually going to scare Uncivil off his position. It looks like Uncivil in vehicle.
ATC found 2 knocks out of the vehicle.
from that far away. ATC on top of things, and TS just like that for their greed and their avarice in chasing Drassel. They are suffering big time damage here, as Hallow Senpai is going to be the one that does it. I mean, this is shots from ATC, this is shots from Oath, this is shots from Dodge. TS biting off a little bit more than they could chew, and there you go, they are done. Meanwhile, Drassel, you can see him, has taken out Keenan. He will get drove by a sharp shot. They put an end to that pretty quickly. What a wild,
what is
wild...
going on the east? And then the circle bounces west. Of course it does. Of course it does.
So you had to say something this about how everything was going west. Well, I mean, I guess it's going to continue. Now Pat Cap's on the move. He's going to be running right by Edge. Looks like they will spot him out, and that's going to be it for Comets as he gets taken down. Now Spicy Fish, Dodge all have to be making their way inside the circle. Dodge in vehicles. Spicy Fish trying to hang out. I think they were going to try to set up for a little bit of a camp here on Dodge. Unfortunately, one gets knocked, and no shots at all taken on to Dodge from Spicy Fish.
Yeah, Dodge pulling up in a pretty precarious position here to, I guess, try and gatekeep Spicy Fish. Now, No Cap haven't got clear line of sight onto them, but they can at least, I guess, put a little bit of pressure onto them. Elsewhere, we see Oath putting some shots into a transitioning Fabled round on the north side. Now, Sendence did come out of J. They opted to 4-man send it towards the yellow in the middle of field. They lost one. Means they're down to a duo now, but a big compound became available. And I don't think anybody would have anticipated that happening with the circle bomb. Nobody's going to want to play the yellow over a J in this, or at least they shouldn't want to.
Fabled had no idea, so now Fabled is going to be the third team to send it into apps right now. Spicy Fish going to try to hop in their vehicles, but Dodge, as you said, perfectly set up for the camp here. They're going to find Civ. Can they find anything more off of this? Roth is in the middle of the street right now, or actually just off the street, as the rest of the boys going to try to do the drive-by. Finna taking those shots over the top, and now Spicy Fish setting up. They're going to send two from the upper side of the mountain. Civ will most likely get finished off. There you go. Sigsy going to be the one to do the honors. Hallow Senpai inside this building. The blue has collapsed on him. Roth has the smokes laid down. We'll cross the street. We'll try to finish him off. It's going to be a 1v1 in the blue.
Yeah, it's pinning a lot on this, I guess, just leaving Keenan to try and deal with the rest of Dodge at least, but Sonic's actually getting involved with that. They were trying to take a fight with Edge, and also Shrimsy then had an opportunity to peek over here, but Keenan's trying to come up. We'll find the flash onto Finn. Lampola tries to swim. Wait, he's in his tab. He didn't see him. He didn't see him in cross over there. Lampola's down to 1 HP. What is going on?
Oh my goodness. I mean, this is the 1v1 between Hallow Senpai and Ross still going on, but the rest of Dodge has been summarily taken down, and that's going to be the molly that doesn't know the blue will do the damage, and that's going to be Spicy Fish winning the fight. Will Roth go down here to blue? Yes, he will. Yes, he will, and he is not coming back up.
God.
So mutually assured destruction between Dodge and Spicy Fish, but Keenan's still up. We see the circle does pop, and all that circle luck that we were talking about for Oath at the beginning of the game, well, that's just gone completely away as we see Oath trying to square up with ATC, or what remains of ATC. Norcus and Marcelic just going to go ahead and get on out of there. They've got to push right through No Cap, who has got a nice little hold on the compound that they're going to have to leave here shortly. And uh-oh, they run right back into Oath.
They're playing bumper card now. Look at that. Marcelic will find Kickstart. Snakers and the rest of Oath actually forced to send it a little further in here. It will get control of the shack, but get a lot of damage on the way in. Norcus actually able to set up here. Yeah, Norcus and Marcelic actually, they put another knock in. Reload's going to fall down at the shack now.
ATC is putting in work right now as we see Sonics trying to hold off a push from Edge. Looks like they're having a pretty successful time of it so far. Yanni is down. I think M Fatale might be the last one up. He's working around the edge, working around the outside, has the smokes, and oh my god, Shrimsy. Okay, there you go. Done and dusted.
But Keenan's managed to...
Oh my god, Keenan.
Oh, he's getting dead party! Look at that! He had a nade cooked and everything.
Oh, it was looking so nice. Keenan had such a good idea going there, and Menox just finishes him off. 5 kills now for No Cap, and No Cap starting to creep up here and maybe put themselves in a position to start a fight here with Sonics. Sonics have not left just yet. Looks like they're regrouping, healing up, looting up, doing what they need to do. Meanwhile, the apps, we were talking about it. 3 teams were involved. It's now down to 1 for Fable. This sneak attack is the only one left. William and Detonator for T8 also in there, and Eternity has 1 in every building. They have 4-way split.
Molly?
I don't know.
It's like the longest underarm I've ever seen, but Sonic's now looking to flex out a little bit, try and deal with No Cap that were advancing up the hillside towards them. And only a slice of the circle really to play on this high ground. Add it drifting out to the north of them, going to get third partied all the way from apps. That's Eternity sending shots over here.
That sucks.
It does. Yeah, he was on a nice
there.
little flank there because Tickleton's actually going to respond and find a knock onto Ploob. That could be the green light for Sonics to push downhill.
Yeah, they I mean, you can see Sonics is ready to go. They got their laces on. They're ready to push. They want this. They want to finish this as quickly as possible and just clean it up. And there you go. Sigsy will actually find Tiggleton. Shrimsy immediately trades it onto Addit, who had that great flanking position, but gets spotted out. Almost takes Sigsy down again. Ploob has been knocked. Menox trying to come and provide some support for Sigsy through the smoke, through the flames. You can see Sigsy's still alive, but Shrimsy now all by himself. Can he do some solo magic? No, he can't. Sigsy will finish him off in a nice hold from No Cap. Did they get both of these reses?
I think they get both the reses as well, yeah. Kind of take a chill pill midway through the fight there, and it's going to pay dividends for them because they're going to keep 4 up. They're going to be in a decent position to push downhill here. It's only really ATC in front of them, really standing between them and safety. We know ATC's position isn't exactly safe. Nothing but a car fort on the side of the hill, but I mean it's some sort of respite.
It's something. I'm not gonna lie, man. I thought as soon as I saw Attic go down there, I thought that might have been the end of the road there for No Cap, but they hold it off. And here you go. Eternity will find William and Desi, and that's gonna be TAC 8 going down. Eternity now up to 5 kills and complete control of the apps, which is just barely in the northwestern side of the circle. Liberate and No Cap in a rough spot, trying to make their way down the hill. They're going to lose 1. Liberate loses 1 to Oath right there, trying to make the push down. No Cap did get 1 knock. They get that res back up onto Sigsy. They're all 4 up again in movement. I think they've got 2 in cars. Ploob trying to find a place to play here, but what really is there? Not a whole lot.
Origin is pull back over, I guess. Find something right in front of ATC here. It's actually going to be Zealot that finds that knock, and the duo from Ascendance that had to pull away from Jay when they did, still alive and kicking, putting some pressure into the circle. And that's the Evolution now. That nade is money. Actually bounced a little too far here, but he still finds the knock.
Oh, just a little bit too much. Marcelic is down. Norg is down to next to no health here. Meanwhile, No Cap is getting picked to pieces, picked to shreds. Liberate as well, down to 2, as all of our teams that have a little bit of cover to play with, and whatever cover there is really in this circle to play with, are making it work out well for them here. At it.
ATC are going to survive because Eternity are putting so much firepower up onto the hillside.
Oh, man.
Evolution actually gets taken down here. ATC can reset, get the res. No Cap actually just down to add it now. So all of this pressure coming out from apps has kept ATC alive.
Here you go, Addit. Gonna try to make a push. Norcus will win the 1v1. Clean as you like. Vexel will clean off Liberate. And now, okay, Oath, you're still hanging out inside that shack. You got Team Eternity bearing down on you. This feels like a couple of Molotovs, maybe a couple of throwables away from Oath being completely decimated in a matter of seconds. Fortunately for them, Vexel doesn't have anything but smokes in hand right now. He's just going to look for heads. And actually, he's got to be calling for somebody here. There's got to be somebody from Eternity. There you go. Steel. Go throw 2 of those. You got 2 grenades, 2 mollies. Go throw those, man.
Put something in there.
Please, God, just something, anything. You know that there's people in there.
They actually flex all the way back over towards apps. I'm extremely concerned they're considering just
Vehicles?
crashing onto the yellow here.
Oh god, they are.
Because it's going to give Oath a clean edge to play from. And that's a team you don't want to give them a fighting chance.
Oh my! Did Oath just get the freest?
I mean, they could crash on, deal with Ascendants, and very well play from
They're
the
going
compound.
yellows.
But yeah,
They're going. This is
if they get punished for this, this is going to be heartbreaking.
all right. Well, let's see what ETR has in store. The smokes are down, mollies are down. Ascendants trying to hold them off for now. Magi, Zealot will reposition. Still got throwable, still got a lot of utility in hand for Ascendants to try to make this hold. The good grenade comes through, not gonna find anything, does a little bit of damage onto Jumbi. No kills down just yet. Meanwhile, Oath and ATC are squaring off on the north side as Eternity just rallies on the north side of this building. Yep, Zealot will get taken down by the Molotov. And it is all down to Magi. It's fairly clean stuff from Eternity here. Oh, Magi. Oh, Magi!
Well, the first knock actually swings out, only gets a little bit of damage onto the second. Oath, actually, in the meanwhile,
Oh, no.
haven't flexed out. Vexel's going to take
Not
a
like
lot of
this.
damage from this. Not one more tick.
Oh, he doesn't go down.
Oath haven't repositioned just yet on the back there. They were dealing with ATC for so long. But like I said, yes, they've come through and cleared the compound, but I'm hoping they win this one out, Poro. I'm really hoping the next circle shift isn't weird.
I mean, when you know that they had Oath essentially just completely dead to rights in that shack, and instead decide to go off to this north side, we'll see where the circle decides to go. All right, it does give them some
move that
reprieve
car.
here. They can stay in their compounds. They can work on the top side here. But now it's essentially, I mean, it feels like an aim battle at this point. I mean, Oath does still have to move a couple in. Snaker's the only one in, and he's got the rock, but I mean, he's got 4 people just staring right down at him. It's going to be rough.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for Oath to get something moving now. Like I said, the one opportunity they had, if ATC died quick enough, they could have potentially spread out, found some off angles here to try and lay some more pressure onto Eternity, maybe work off that knock that RG did actually manage to find. To see how Oath play this one out, they got to find a knock, got to do some damage, got to find an opening here in the end game.
Unfortunately for them, Eternity is hitting their shots as we look at the M4 on the ground. It is all about DMRs now. We'll see. Only one smoke here for Balefrost as well, so not going to be a whole lot of repositioning that he's able to do. Here's the problem right now. I mean, Balefrost has to move, and neither of his teammates can really afford to peek right now and provide him any cover, really. As you see, yeah, there you go. Balefrost again gets knocked extremely low, and he's going to go down to Vexel. And neither of his teammates are able to really provide any cover, any pressure at all.
No, Snake, as like you said, he's the only one inside, and really no opportunity for him to peek and do any damage onto Eternity here. A couple more members flexing out, make this even harder for Oath, and an absolute stranglehold on this final circle here. Closing in, nothing but really the rock and the smoke keeping Oath alive for the time being. Balefrost's going to get dealt with. Eternity up to 10 kills now, capitalizing on this early position inside apps and making this move out and dealing with Ascendants in the yellows.
It's not often you see a team that just kind of hangs out in apps for the entire game, especially once they drop there. It's not too often that you see them end up getting a bunch of kills off of it as off of a late game finish as well. But Eternity doing just that as they pick up 11 now, and it's down to just Snakers. Eternity, after looking so good in those open qualifiers, finishing first. They're going to finish first this time, and another 12 kill victory. This time it's going to be for Eternity.
Yeah, good go. Honestly, a good ending from them. Again, I was questioning the decision making there of coming over to the yellows. There was an opportunity, like I said, for Oath to deal with ATC quick enough, and potentially, Ascendants do a lot more damage on the way in. I know they were trying to pre-nade, pre-molly the doors and try and get something going there, Poro. But yeah, they hold the line. They keep 4 up and close it out in style.
Yeah, I mean, it ended up working out in their favor. I mean, I'm right there with you. I was a little bit worried when I saw them leave that 3-man oath team alive in the shack, but and you know, it ended up working out just fine. So no harm, no foul. Eternity with the game to win. Well, guys, we are going to get everybody back into the lobby. But before we do so, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have leaderboards ready to go, and we'll be ready for game number 3. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. everybody. We are back once again. We've got 2 games in the books, 2 remarkably similar logos back to back with Sonics and Eternity. And they also both got 12 kill wins. I wish I had the X-Files theme on speed
Yeah,
dial
I'm
here
sorry,
so
I've
I
only
could-
got MLG horns on the soundboard.
Yeah,
Sorry for
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's all you got. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Team Eternity gets 22 points in the chicken dinner. Ascendance does finish in second with 11 points after kind of making their way to that late game, holding down the compound for a little bit before Eternity eventually crashed on top of them. And Oath, despite finishing second place, only finds themselves 4th in points, tied with No Cap.
Yeah, I mean, again, though, after a strong game one, this is much better in terms of average points per game from Oath than yesterday, at least. So at least starting off strong, like I said, things did pick up for them towards Miramar, at least towards the back end of the day yesterday. So already a big positive for me overall. Shout out Sonics as well. Unfortunately, couldn't become the victors of that fight with No Cap, and a little unfortunate, I'll say that much, right? With the third party coming in and kind of keeping at it honest, there was a couple of things that kind of had an impact on that fight. But the fact that they came down from Potato, were active, dealing with, was it Dodge and Spicy Fish that were scrapping over to the southeast side and trying to get involved in that as well. I feel like they were actually unfortunate to not pick up more kill points from that scenario because they were active in 3 different directions at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, they were looking strong, and then the push down, obviously, into the fight with No Cap. I don't know, not a whole lot of utility invested in that one, so there wasn't a whole lot of smokes laid down. So it was kind of allowing a lot of these teams further down the hill to third party onto that. And I got as much as I want to give props to Sonics for doing what they could in that situation, I definitely got to feel like I give props to No Cap. I mean, they lost their flanker, they lost at it, and they ended up winning the fight. After losing 2, but
they lost Adit and Plube as the anchor as well. The 2 probably most pivotal players in that setup, and they were still able to recover, at least, I guess, slow things down enough where Shrimsy ultimately had to push in the open to try and secure that team fight or secure another kill at least. And I was up versus a Grozer as well.
Yeah, and a lot of that I obviously having to do with this third party, but somehow No Cap avoided the third party for the most part, and we're able to get all 4 back up and keep things going. Well, here's a head-to-head from our first and third place teams. You can see Team Eternity doing a little bit of work there. Ascendance, maybe less so, but 6 kills and 800 damage. That's efficiency. That's what we call that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, they lost one on the Afromaniacs crash, right?
Yeah.
When they crashed into Jay, and like I said, at that point, because it's a 3-man, I guess they're trying to play things a little more defensive. They want to position up and not really have to put themselves in a position to take another fight. So they pull away from Jay, play into the yellows, which, like I said, any other team in this lobby was probably not anticipating, a full team's going to move away from Jay. But as soon as, they played the long game and ultimately, I think probably got them a better result because they're able to situate themselves there and I guess survive long enough is the thing. They weren't really able to remain active and put many more points up, but potentially staying at J and allowing another team that had to blind send in from a little further afield could have played it out of that yellow as well.
Team Eternity will be our, what is that now, 7th winner, 7th in consecutive. We have not had a 2-game winner yet so far during these group stages, but you got to give Eternity credit. They did hold down that apartment complex, which did see a lot of crashing after Jay was left unoccupied. We saw Fabled was there, T8 was there. It was kind of a little bit of a mess going on, and just again overall things that were kind of surprising. I'm really surprised to see as much action in Razak early as we ended up seeing, which was a little bit nutty, but we are ready now to head into game number 3, our final game on Erangel for the night, before we send it over to Miramar for our last 2.
Yeah, it's a little, I guess, a little more funky in terms of where the plane path is starting, but a similar angle, at least on this. Most of the middle of the map going to be attainable here. Maybe Yaznaya a little further afield, going to have to drop for vehicles if anybody should decide to go that way, but Sosnovka Island on the cards, at least potential here for it. We had one yesterday, Poro, and it was on a similar plane path as well. To wait and see if we're going to see another one here on day 2.
Well, Comet's already deciding to drop on military base. They have been looting up in that North George Zarki area last couple of games. So we'll see. It seems like they are thinking that the likelihood that this goes south might be pretty high, as they will take over Novo. TS will go over to military base now that Gas Cans is not in the lobby. Everybody else, we've seen pretty much everybody avoiding each other for the most part in the early game. No real hot drops going on, but Eternity looks like they're getting real close to Fable on this one.
I was going to say a little bit of an overlap at least on the drop.
Yeah.
And actually, looking like they might actually full-on contest Hospital here, or at least one player full-on contesting versus 2 members of Eternity. No, who's going to pull away? Was that Simply Matt? I think it was Simply Matt. I didn't quite catch the player tag there on the way out.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be him, and he does pull off Hospital. So Eternity gets that win, and now they get a little bit of bass in their voice here, fighting for that Hospital spot, taking that away from Fabled as they start to encroach on territory here a little bit. Circle does pop, and well, it's going to go right back to where it was last game, right in the dead center. Pretty boring stuff. Yep. Sure. Well, that's a good thing for all the teams, though. That's going to lead to most likely a slow, steady, safe early game. We'll see if the north side of this one remains as empty as it did last time around. As I spoke too soon. Honey gonna find Weem over on the far eastern edge of Razak. So
yeah, it's all the way towards Garden, actually. Yeah.
So Edge getting a little bit rambunctious here as well. And Weem, did he just get you? Yeah, he got shot out of his car. That feels bad.
Unfortunate. I actually just realized I can start calling this Valley 8 compound again now because he's playing. Everyone used to be like, no, you can't go to Valley 8 because he doesn't play anymore. But yeah, there you go. In Valley 8 compound.
Valley
that was
8
my
compound.
impression. That was my impression of Twitch chat, by the way. So
it was a great impression. It was a great impression. The Valley 8 compound is back on the menu, boys. You know what? I was actually watching Roth last game, right? You remember there was a point where he was just kind of running out in the middle of nowhere by himself and pushing.
He was making a play, man. He was making a play.
Does Roth not remind you of Valley 8 with the way he plays a lot?
I can see it. He's gonna hate me for saying that, but yeah, I can see it.
Just kind of going out and kind of North America has a very long and storied history of players that like to push out by themselves and try to make plays.
Sometimes you just got to make a play, par. It's as simple as that. That used to be my favorite thing to hear Valley 8 say in the middle of the game. Just I'm making a play. Chill for a second.
Making a play. Usually
everybody else just hits the deck and Valley 8 runs off.
It's like, where are you? Don't worry about it. Like 500 kilometers away. It's no big deal. No big deal. Can I cover you? No. Don't worry about it.
I got this.
Making a play. But everybody wants to be PO, man. Everybody wants to be PO for some reason. Can't imagine why. Couldn't be because he's a phenomenal player that everybody still thinks is the best player in PUBG, despite the fact that Longsker exists. As we see Leda very convinced that somebody is in the building that he keeps continually looking at. Hella Senpai very convinced that somebody is looking at him.
Yeah, he got that tingling on the back of his neck here that something's up.
He's even going to bring Vegas over to provide some support here. One thing that's been exciting me lately, Vegas has been playing with Bolties again.
Yeah,
a mini in hand right now, but this is a full-on crash here from 300, and yeah, that's going to be Vegas taking a few shots, and nice grenade from Aloe Senpai. Can he get the follow-up as well to get the flush? It's him low, but he doesn't get the flush. There it is. And now they are probably just going to go ahead and get the heck on out of here. Or are they? They are going to fight for this.
Both teams opting to fight for it. I don't know if this is I guess a situation that's come up before, but Dodge seemed to have read it pretty well, and 300 was set up to try and punish, I guess, Hello Senpai being solo at the compound initially.
Well, the weird thing about this fight is, all right, just based off of where the fight is happening in this compound, you're setting up for the long haul. I mean, this is not a fight that can be won in 20, 30 seconds and move on. This is a fight that's going to take a long time to set up, and you're basically hoping that you catch somebody making a mistake. It's who's going to make the first mistake. So it's inside circle. It's on the very far kind of southwestern side of the circle, so they have time to play this out. But if Sonic's really kind of creeps over there and it's like an overarching position, you can see Tig is kind of looking down in that area, but looks like they'll have time to play it out.
Well, but a little odd to see, at least. Afromaniacs this time around going to a little tighter knit in rotation and not going to get punished, at least on the way into the J. Wide open for the taking.
Nobody there this time.
I love that, though. You get absolutely destroyed in the previous game, and this time around it's like, yeah, no, cool, we're going to pull up again.
I like it. Look, you got to... If you fall off
Lightning
the horse,
doesn't strike twice, ever.
Exactly. You fall off the horse, you got to get right back on again here. And this is our two teams over on Military Island. They are going to run into each other over by the Eastern Bridge. Comets, so far, so good, as they are ahead in this fight. They have knock on to Arson. Red Rider right on top here. And it's like Barry Vibes has the far anchor position, but Monty's going to spot him out, force him to move around. You actually just playing the hill, trying to figure out where everybody is. The smoke wall laid down. Grassel creeping around the edge. Imagine we'll try to make his way towards that cloud. Yaxley and PK. Oh, Red Rider. It's a decent trade, but Yaxley's ahead of it, and Yaxley's going to finish it. Meanwhile, Monty spots out Barry Vibes as well. Zulmox does get the res onto Arson, so Arson back in the fight. Zulmox gets knocked low, and he is on fire, running around, and he will go down, and True Sight gets demolished. Comets doesn't even take a knock.
Really well played by them. Going to get themselves a little wind in their sails early on. Obviously, way down on the south on Sosnovka still, so... Sell 4 points on the board. Actually, yeah, the 300 dodge fight actually going to come through now. 3 knocks in favor of 300 here. Vegas, the last man on his feet, actually, for dodge. After actually finding first blood here.
Dodge got impatient, man. This is such a difficult compound to push into and find success with. At least short fight success. I'm wondering if Dodge got a knock on somebody and thought that was the time to push. If they did, 300 got the res, and there you go. Vox hop out. Nefahor gonna finish off Finna. Vox, this is the longest res in history from Vegas.
Yeah, I think he's pulled off this 3 times already. We'll finally get Hello Senpai back alive and kicking. 300 a little hesitant to make a full clearance over on the south side of the building here.
Sonics is taking shots from the high ground onto it.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, Sonics only have sightlines onto the north and the east, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just this utility that's kept 300 away. Nefahor actually staring down the other side of the wall. It's Hello Senpai. You can see on the X-ray there.
Yeah, the smokes are slowly starting to dissipate. Vegas, I believe, is playing just on the other side of that wall. See him peeking around. Hello Senpai. Is he inside? No, he's on the wall. Vox is going to read it. He's going to come around. They'll get flashed, but they'll take him down. And Vegas goes down as well. And 300, after losing one early, will turn the fight around and take out Dodge.
Fair play to him. Again, don't know what the catalyst was in that fight, kind of kicking off once again, but 300 come out on top, and we'll keep 3 up in a decent-ish position now with that new circle posting as well. So maybe it wasn't all for nothing.
Yeah, 300 feeling fantastic about things here. Comets, you can see making their way across that eastern bridge. Looks like Ascendance did the long wrap across Military Islands. Raven will probably spot out the Comets boys and feed that information over to Zealot, who is leading the charge for Ascendance. A few other teams also in vehicles trying to reposition, find a compound to work from. Big split from Spicy Fish going along on the on Death Road here. Kind of all the way east to west. They've got the whole thing covered. As Eternity will make their way through Pachinki, which is currently open. They do have Liberate holding down the Pachinki Barn. Sonic's up on top of Potato Mountain.
Actually, Sonic's now split a little further apart than they were when they were trying to third party onto 300 now, but we'll maintain control of the high ground. I think H-Win and Shrimsy, right, playing into kind of the edge of Snake, or at least the north side over there on the Prio. The Oath now. Actually got ATC pull up on the backside here. Snake has got to be really careful here. If he bites off more than he can chew, he's going to try and hop in the Daisy. He's got a great line of sight to avoid any of this damage coming through there. Nobody else from O's counter peeking. Some damage coming through now. There you go.
Yeah, Marcelic will pay the price there for a hard peak. Will take a lot of damage, but won't get knocked. ATC comes out of this relatively unscathed. Fortunately for Oath, they do as well, as they are once again back in vehicles, back on the move. I'm trying to find a new spot to play, as Shelter and Junkyard has been taken by ATC. Nice full-on crash from them. There's still plenty of places here on that eastern side for Oath to play. It's just a question of, do they want to still trade back and forth with ATC? Looks like they're kind of doing a little bit right now. Team Eternity, meanwhile, starting to creep up on this western side of Potato Mountain. Remember, Mime and Tickleton by themselves up here. The rest of Sonic's in a compound down south. So if Eternity can sneak up on Mime and Tig here, it might be in trouble. But it looks like Mime had his ears on.
Yeah, Mime wise to it. Maybe just catching an audio cue off the vehicle pull up. And Tickleton actually taking some damage from afar. That's actually later from 300 all the way down to the south. And then shots uphill. Now that could make it difficult if Eternity do opt to push towards Mime and Tickleton's position. Might break him off a couple of angles that actually prevent them from getting I guess a clean first knock if Eternity do decide to push over.
Eternity doesn't seem to be too terribly interested in going any farther than they currently are. If they're just kind of scouting things out and seeing what they can see from their high ground position for the time being. Worth noting that we did lose 2 teams, and we are down to 54. So that has left a surprisingly large amount of real estate open for some of these teams to play with. As we see, Ascendance is on the moves. Oath, meanwhile, they've sent Snakers to the flat top, and okay, there we go. Hard northwest shift. And all of our teams off to the east already hopping in vehicles and back on the move.
And again, look how much just Potato Hill in general, look how much of it like makes this space unplayable, right? There's these compounds around to the northwest side. Obviously, you've got Apps and School, but center of this circle is rough, man, considering this is circle 3.
Yeah.
Have lots of fighting around to, I guess, towards the east and the south edges of this circle.
Could end up being pretty brutal here, as Afromaniac's already going to take some shots at a passing ATC. We'll do a little bit of damage to Icy Flex. Can they finish him off? And Supernova find a little bit of an angle there. Not going to get him, though. Oath is also making their way through here just to the south of Afromaniacs on the hill. Spicy Fish running just past Team Edge. They're going to take some damage as well, but nobody going down just yet. These rotations on the north side of Potato Mountain actually paying off pretty good. Oh, I spoke too soon. Kickstart does get spotted out by No Cap, so the Oath does lose 1. Are they actually sending it back to the same shack? It looks like they might be.
They could indeed. Right now, actually, Roth desperately trying to get some utility down. Mustek actually going to try and head peek over the ridge. The underhand nade comes over the top now, and actually Roth's going to try and go aggressive here to follow up on that damage. Look at this, Spicy Fish finds 2 knocks. And the third.
They are quickly going through, cutting through ATC like warm butter. I'm not sure where the... Oh, Norcus is a mile away. Norcus is actually in the yellow, where
Nice.
where they were holding down before. So, where ETC Eternity went from. So, well, there you go. We'll see what Norcus can do as a solo. And yep, there you go. Oath once again 3 deep in the shack. It worked so well last time. Let's run it back.
Yeah, no, nobody mess with us, man. They know it's our shack. Oath are going to be allowed to live through to phase 7 right there.
Easy stuff for Oath. It's just like, I can just imagine this sitting there like, well, here we are again.
Yep.
15
It's a
minutes
GTA
later.
meme somewhere in there. Yeah.
Here we go again. Well, this time the circle's a little bit more to the south, so we'll see if we get any more hard shifts that benefit them, and maybe cut off to the north. Ascendants going back to that J building again. So we are just full of teams running it back this time around.
Deja
T8
vu.
also, yeah, I know. T8's also in apps. Unfortunately for Eternity, they do not have apps. They are on Potato Mountain as they continue to hold on, just continue to gain more information about what's going on around them. Sonic's still holding down that 2-2. Oh my god.
Oh,
You gotta be kidding me, man.
it's a hell of a rotation up to J right there.
Worked out well, didn't it?
Yeah.
I guess that's how it works. And Comets already in the vehicles, they're starting to creep over in that direction as well. You see, actually took a little bit of damage. Afromaniacs somehow breaking line of sight right now from Afromaniacs are going to take a bunch of damage from the blue, actually. Holy moly. As Monty will most likely have to stop here and go for a little bit of heal, but it looks like he actually is like, well, I'm already on the move. I'm going 300 as well. Will wrap around on the western edge of Potato Mountain underneath Eternity. They look like they might be crashing right on top of Spicy Fish here. Uncivil just out of line of sight, just downhill. Where is 300 going to go?
Well, they're actually going to go for the full-on send and try and get themselves into the southwest app here. Neferhor at least going to get up. Obviously, they are a 3-man, so and you've got to respect it. The fact that they're going to try and send in and try and play position here. Keenan did catch later on the way in, but that wasn't just inside the doorway, so going to be able to reset and get that res.
There's
Meanwhile,
Liberate,
actually,
too.
Liberate, yeah, comes in on the backside onto the west side. So a third team coming in now. Comets
Oh no.
back on the move after Yaxi tried to send it towards Jay, and they're trying to contest Oath Shack.
Oh no. They're going to try to take Oath Stacks away from him. Reload's gone down. He gets flushed out as well. Balefrost, though, Comets gets taken down, and that is why it is Oath's Shack.
Shack's not free.
Shack is never free. They all belong to Oath. Sonics, meanwhile, have engaged in a fight with Fabled, who've wrapped around on their southern side. It's looking like it's not going too great. H-Win and Shrimsy, the last two up here. Shrimsy does have that buggy to hide around. Fabled, it's sneak attack is simply Matt, just using the utility. Trying to peek up along the edge. Jumbi now from Eternity come in with the nice third party. They're gonna, oh no. H-Win died to his own grenade, unfortunately. I'm not sure if he got knocked while holding it. Didn't see the kill feed in time, but either way, it's down to just Shrimsy here. As Eternity, like they
Look at
might
the
clean up
minimap,
all
man.
of this.
Literally everybody's coming to fight for Potato now to try and play this edge and have an opportunity to push down the high ground. Edge actually moving up as well to throw them in the mix also. No Cap now trying to close the distance onto Eternity. Shrimsy still got to just ride this one out for the time being. You can see him right in the thick of it there on the south side. His sneak attack and Simply Matt drift back over towards the west. And Eternity will try and reset back into the yellow for the time being.
It's about to be a 5-team fight here. As Eternity, as you said, crept back towards the west. You got No Cap kind of in the middle of a sandwich here between Eternity and Edge, who have crept up here, but Adit will find Honey, and that's going to be the first knock onto them. Adit will creep around to see if he can still get involved here. As you can see, Fable trying to make their way out. Shrimsy still in that blue. Sneak attack has managed to make his way in, but now Eternity, after the reset, has started to make their way over. And of course, there's death, there's destruction going on the south side. And what does that attract? It's always going to attract a Spicy Fish as Uncivil and Keenan start to make their way up here to be the 6th team fighting in the south.
Yep, they want a piece of the pie right now. Moving up as Manox down. Sigsy considering the res actually came off it just there, I think, as somebody from Eternity head peeked the ridge. Again, Shrimsy's still alive to the south here. He's in a position to play spoiler on this. If anybody from Eternity gets knocked, it could leave the back door open for Shrimsy to slip through.
And look at him, he's on foot, he's ready to go. He's got the heals, he's got the last first aid, and oh, he's right on top of Soup, and he's gonna eat him up. Soup goes down. Jumbi will finish him off. Unfortunately, Shrimsy couldn't find the angle through the buggy to get Jumbi, so he decides instead to go for the point. That was all that was available to him, and that's what he will take. Eternity lose one, but no cap now down to just Sigsy, as Shireen and Nana still holding down the line on the south side.
I think Keenan and Uncivil are going to have a line of sight to clean up Eternity as they have to come off this high ground. They're close enough here. They've moved far enough up the hill where they can potentially punish Eternity if they're not diligent on their clear back in.
Oh my word. Yep. They're not moving any farther forward than this. This is where they've been hanging out for the past minute. And they know that they're waiting on them to come down that hill. That's where the new circle is going to force them to go. And meanwhile, in that apps, 3 teams still scrapping it out. Liberate has to figure out how to move inside the circle here, as Ascendance will try to send it from that shack that they were in. They're going to try to go onto Oath's shack now as well. Can Oath do it again? The grenades are coming out. Free fire from Bale.
Oh no! A snake is nade! What?
Oh no!
No way!
It was Liberate that killed all of Ascendance, and Oath kills themselves. Oh no.
Okay, that will forever be known as the Oath Shack now. That is the Oath Shack.
Yeah, that is Oath Shack. Nobody kills Oath at Oath Shack except for Oath.
Except Oath.
Well, here we go. Afromaniacs started to creep up on the south side of the mountain. They're going to run into Edge, and unfortunately for Edge, they are very, very split, and now they are losing players left and right. And Fatal has gone down, Nana's gone down, Honey and Shireen coming in here just a little bit late. Shireen, the last one up. He's going to find some damage, though. He gets knocked on the show. I believe it's a 1v1. Shireen and Greg shot left for both squads, as Eternity does lose one to Spicy Fish. It's down to just Jumbi and Vexel, and look at that circle shift. If that's not a spicy fish shift, I don't know what is.
Say that really fast 3 times over.
I couldn't say it once really fast, and I almost messed it up then, so I'm not going to try to do it again. Greg shot will flush off Fatal, make sure he gets that point. That'll be 3 in the bag for Afromaniacs, maybe 4 if he can finish off Shireen here.
Was actually Spicy Fish able to ride this out? Honestly, they have so much control from the west side here, and I think they're going to prioritize holding all of these teams, or these players, I should say, coming out of apps. You can see now Uncivil drifting back towards Sharp Shot and Roth. And they're just going to post up. Keenan, the decent enough position to hold information, at least on the remainders of the teams, but Vexel is the only other player in the lobby that's inside the circle right now.
I mean, that's Keenan's job right now is just to make sure that nobody wraps around on him from that south side. And there you go. Well-placed grenade from Greg Shot will finish off Shireen. That'll keep Afromaniacs in it for now, but it looks like Eternity might have spotted him out. Meanwhile, this fight going on in apartments. Detonator and Crop, the last 2 up for T8 as they make their way through 300. Right on top of him, he will get Crop. Nephalhor and get some work done. Detonator still up. Is he the last one up? He is, as that fight finished almost instantly.
It's like apps, everybody loses. There's never a winner from apps when the circle pulls away, but this time around, Detonator does actually survive. Sharpshot going to steal one away with the nade. Keenan will find the knock onto Vexel. That's back over to the east. Detonator now got to ride out these smokes for the time being. I think actually Sharpshot is assuming that was an insta, not a flush. He's still privy to the fact there might be a survivor, but the way that actually Spicy Fish are trying to reset here and take control of the center, I think they assumed that kill from Sharpshot was an insta and it was the final kill.
Ooh. Well, it's not going to matter. Greg Shot spots out Desi. That's going to be another point picked up by Afromaniacs. It's looking like this could be Spicy Fish as our first 2-game winner. We will see. They've got to finish off this duo, and they've got to finish off Greg Shot. Jumbi will spot out one. Keenan goes down. Keenan is actually a mile away from the rest of the team. And Civil will find the angle onto Jumbi, though. Will trade it back. Vexel, though, still up, and it does not look like Spicy Fish have caught sight of Greg Shot just yet. Sharp Shot thought he had him. Greg Shot on the move. How did he not see him? Okay, he saw him. He saw him there at the very, very last second. He spots out Civ. It looks like Spicy Fish has an idea where Vexel is. There's only so many trees and rocks that you can throw Molotovs on here. Vexel's gonna find Uncivil, and Spicy Fish. This could be danger.
Good, yeah. As Vexel now spins back in Greg Shot's direction. Greg Shot gonna get another flush as well. That's Afromaniacs up to 7 kills. Greg Shot putting another 2 up for his team, and Roth and Sharp Shot. All that's left for Spicy Fish here. Jumbi's still down. Vexel, I don't think there's much chance of him going for that res here, but nearly actually catches Roth out in the open there, but Sharp Shot luckily puts a shot in. Vexel hearing all this now, I guess assumes he can go for this res. Great shot.
Oh,
Gonna
no,
find Roth, though.
What are you doing?
It's not pretty to watch.
He's making plays. He's running around. He just got shot at, and Sharp Shot saved his life, and Roth just goes
like
out
a fish
there
out of water.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Spicy Fish, this was looking like a sure thing, and now it is a 2v1v1 as the res comes through for Team Eternity. Can they get
They're going to have the high ground.
back-to-back wins? They have the high ground, and Sharp Shot and Greg Shot. 2 shots are fighting each other. Sharp Shot will find Greg Shot. That's him going down. Afromaniacs picks up a nice set of points here from a great individual performance here from Greg Shot. But what can Sharp Shot do? We've seen it. Pipak, we've seen it before. Solo Sharp Shot is a terrifying thing.
We've seen it a few times, yeah. He's trying to pull back, I guess, uphill on the east side of the circle now as it closes in, but Jumbi and Vexel have played this perfectly. They've come through prioritizing center, prioritizing the high ground. They have great sight lines into the circle. But, Jumbi, he just looked away at the wrong moment. He could have caught Sharp Shot crossing in the open there. He will spot him out anyway. No damage done, but position revealed now, and just a matter of time unless Sharp Shot can find a knock.
Multiple angles here. Sharp Shot gets knocked down to about half HP. Jumbi going to be the one to do the damage that time, but Sharp Shot finding a spot. It is out of line of sight here. Got a little bit of tree to cover. He knows, more importantly, he knows where both of them are. Jumbi going to go a little bit higher. Try to find the angle. As it's just a trade between Vexel and Sharp right now. Sharp has to be aware that this wrap could come in. You can't stay there, keep scoping in and peeking in a peak battle. You got to be anticipating this. Let's see if he does.
The way he was playing there, but the spray is good. Eternity will close this out. 5 kills in the win here, and I gotta say it, Spicy Fish had that in the bag, Poro. That was a bit of a throw in the end game there. I'll come back. Don't hate me. Don't hate me.
I mean, look, hey, it is what it is. You know, we got to be honest. I mean, they had 4 up, and it was a 1 duo and 2 solos. I think at one point it was they had the knock, and it was just 4v1v1v1. And unfortunately for them, Spicy Fish maybe getting a little bit too greedy on the pushes there, and they end up going down one after the other. So unfortunate stuff for them. But the story's got to be right now, Eternity back-to-back wins on back-to-back very similar circles.
Yeah, and I mean, right there, it's a case of the stars align. Everybody third party Spicy Fish at the right time, but the fact that Vexel's able to reset and get that res ultimately was the final kind of tip in their favor, and they're able to close that out. Honestly, you come back to phase 6 or even phase 5 there, and they're definitely not the one you'd call making a play into that circle and putting some kills up.
No, but you know what? At the end of the day, they did it. It counts. Second win. A nice little bag of points for them as well. But guys, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have our overall leaderboards, and we will be ready for game number 4, which will see us sending over to Miramar. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. I wanna taste your content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption, breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Just wanna be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep. I was lost and sad to the voices in my head. I gotta get up again. I gotta get up to another day. I'm not giving up again.
Hello, everybody. We are back once again. We've got 3 games in the books. We've got a Sonics win, followed by back-to-back Eternity wins on the day, and that is Erangel done and dusted. And speaking of dust, we are heading over to Miramar. But before we do, let's take a look at our leaderboards of that last game. Don't shake your head at me. Don't shake your head at me. I'm already getting mean DMs from Valley 8 for comparing him to Roth. So
I knew that was literally there was going to be like as
right
soon
now,
as the
man.
delay caught up, there was like a 2-minute internal clock for me where I was like, I'm going to get a DM. I'm going to get a DM. It's coming.
I'm down bad. All right. Well, there you go. Speaking of not down bad, it's Team Eternity. 15 points off of that one. Afromaniacs, again, picking up a nice little chunk of points for themselves. Spicy Fish right behind them. And TAC 8 also picking up 12 off of that. Let's see what the overall leaderboards are looking like. After 3 games down today, Spicy Fish have now supplanted TSM in that first place spot.
Yeah, finally, somebody's passed them. So it's a 5-point gap now. Obviously, I mean, it depends really. Spicy Fish can close out strong, maybe leave a little bit of a buffer. What was it 25 odd points or something at the start of the day that TSM were ahead? So obviously, it just goes to show how good a day. 19, I've just been told.
19.
So it just shows how good a day they did have yesterday. But Spicy Fish continuing their successes, looking elsewhere, not an awful lot of movement elsewhere, I'll be honest. I mean, Sonic's kind of slowing off after that game 1. We'll see a tricky situation. Still maintaining that split with the circle posting up a bit closer to Potato, right? And again, I think they got themselves into a really weird scenario where 4 or 5 teams ended up trying to push for the high ground on Potato. So unfortunately fell short, and Shrimsy last man standing once again.
Well, despite being in 12th, 31 points, 10-point per game, roughly average for Sonics through 3 games on Erangel. Not too shabby. Team Eternity with those back-to-back wins find themselves crawling from 12th place all the way up to 3rd. And they've got 2 chicken dinners, which we know will eventually be important. But right now, it's not. We don't care. 2 chicken dinners means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, forget that.
57 points, though.
Don't even think about it.
Don't even think about it. It'll be fine. Be fine. I definitely don't think we imagine Team Eternity would be up in that top 5 here after 2 days, but we still got a few more games to play, a few more days to play. As a matter of fact, as we see our top kills from that last game. Greg shot in first after a phenomenal solo performance by that young man.
As well as, Spicy Fish obviously did look to get active through the mid game. And again, you can't criticize it too much when you kind of left the opportunity where there's a lot of downtime and all that pressure is going to get alleviated from apps once the circle forces it out. But I've got to say, if they kind of stacked up and there wasn't any split, was it Keenan that fell first and he was the one way far to the south, kind of still up towards that high ground? I can't help but feel if, they kind of regrouped and kind of, tackled things one by one, that was in the bag for them. They could have cleaned it up. They could have literally gate kept the rest of the circle. Everybody else was outside on the east at one point. So it's unfortunate to see them fall in that way.
Yeah, a little bit of a wide spread there, considering that they may not have had all the information that they needed for where all the solo players were, or at least they had information about where they were, but all the solos doing a really good job of staying on the move, using that terrain to their advantage here. As we see the overall damage, pretty low as far as overall damage goes, but Vexel's going to be in front on that one. Pretty good.
It's been a while since we've seen that.
I know, isn't it?
Is it 2018 again? What's going on?
I know. We're seeing all types of old things come back up here.
Penta's on fire. Vexel top of the damage charts. It's crazy.
Valley 8's back in this. It's absolutely nuts. Well, here we go. We are heading into game number 4. First game here today on Miramar. And we'll see if we see any contested drops. Everything was fairly copacetic on Erangel, with a couple of exceptions, just solo crossing overs. But so far, it looks like. Uh-oh, wait a minute. What's going on? Are we fighting over Creed of IA? Look, this happened in scrims, and I made so much damn fun of the teams that were fighting over. Of all the places to fight over, you're gonna fight over this place.
Prime real estate, man. The rotation routes out of here, pretty clean. Vehicle spawns, always, you know, comfortable to say the least. Speaking of comfortable, Ploob gonna grab himself a pumpy. Try and get to work with that with an AK as well.
I don't even know what to say anymore. You know, there's got to be a giant S at the /S at the back of that. What you were saying about Credo. Circle doesn't even go that way. It's going to cut all the way down south. The entire southeastern half of this circle completely unoccupied. Going to be La Bendita, Los Leones, all points around there. We'll see any teams decide to make any long rotations. But for right now, we've got to deal with this fight over what Hypox says is one of the greatest drop spots.
So the
Miramar.
best? What is that supposed to be an impression of my accent? The best?
Look, we all know I can't do a British accent. All right, it's just embarrassing. It's awful. But that was just
All of the best. The best.
I'm just thinking about all your campaign references now, and that's all I can think about.
That's not suitable for broadcast.
It is not. It is not. But fortunately for Team Edge, they're able to escape Crew Divide for free. As No Cap will get back to looting, and it looks like it's going to be a very slow early game, at least until these teams start making rotations. I mean, look at the north side is so congested. I mean, you got Campo, Tierra, Torrey, Laco. I mean, I have never seen. I usually you see one of these cities get looted. I don't think I've ever seen all of them getting looted.
No, I don't think I have. And considering actually there's nobody south of Bendita, basically. Well, nobody southeast of Bendita or Picado. And that's purely down to the plane path. But problem being, I know, again, it comes back to the same thing, the similar sort of situation when we look at northern circles, right? When there's been a central plane, there's a couple of bottlenecks in terms of routes to actually rotate in across the north. So all of these teams have got those to deal with on top of, you know, the congestion. You've already said, the actual head count that's up north of the circle.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, there's only a few routes down there, and now you add in the fact that you've got 5 teams up there, and it doesn't look like anybody's positioning for any kind of crazy camping. They're more concerned with just getting in, although it looks like True Sight sent Barry vibes a little bit early, and they might end up getting him caught out here as we check in with Oath over by La Bandita. ATC starting to move over there. Marcelic just off in the distance, and Relo looks like he's fully aware that there's somebody over there. The pitter patter of his sweet little feet.
Yeah, I do love this. The barefoot running in Miramar is probably one of my it's ASMR. It's borderline ASMR.
It kind of is, isn't it? It's like that video from Reddit this week with the baby duck running on different types of surfaces, like with the little feet slappies sound like on like linoleum and carpet. And oh my, what have you done? How could you have done this?
Sonic's out on Picado pretty early and get themselves set up on the high ground at least. Positioned down to the southwest of Oath as they start to regroup. And speaking of regrouping, actually 380 seat, looking like they're going to get into it once again.
Yeah,
fall up on the backside and nobody nearby actually to Vox. Neverhaul up on the high ground and the rest of them over to the west.
I think 300 saw ATC kind of crash into this compound below, sent Vox to maybe do a little bit of exploring. And for Vox's part, I think he heard Icy Flex's footsteps and stopped peeking over the top. And now Icy Flex is just going to go ahead and drop the grenade and bail on out as Marcelic to give him some support from range as ATC with the 2-2 split in the middle of this circle. And it's already looking a little bit precarious.
I mean, hopefully Norcus and Icy Flex aren't punished for this. Marcelek, like you said, I guess trying to lay in some damage or some warning shots towards 300. If anything, this is kind of revealing the fact that they are split. This is kind of showing
giving away the ghost there a little bit.
Showing ATC's hand. If 300 can read this correctly, they're going to be able to muscle their way into this compound.
You want to see some other shots being traded? That's down over in Los Leones. And yeah, Civ actually get picked out of a vehicle and taken down by Ascendants. So Spicy Fish going to lose one. Here is Maji landing the big boy shots from range. Rest of Ascendants still on the move. Sonics left Picado. Had a little bit of a 2-2 split. They are kind of close to Ascendants here. Doesn't look like they're going to take the shot. Spicy Fish, just take the time to regroup. Oh, here we go. Well, we said it. They were worried that the shots from across the way might give up the plan here for ATC and 300. They're going to take the opportunity to push in. That grenade going to do a little bit of damage to Norcus. Icy Flex already down. Actually, that wasn't that was damage onto head kick rather. Norcus going to hold the angle, sees Nefahor pushing in. Latest slowly bleeding out, but he's not in any real danger at the current time. It looks like head kick might try go and get that res. Marcelic and the rest of the ATC boys starting to make their way over. Melon, the tail end. You can see him in the vehicle on your mini map starting to make his way through. The res comes through for 300. They're back up to full strength, and now ATC has everybody over here who's got successful longhouse push on their bingo card here, because Marcelic and Melon are holding this one down.
Yeah, Vox looking like he's able to get off that first aid kit as well. So back up to fighting strength for 300. Actually, the peak comes through. Head kick going to do a lot of damage onto Marcelic. That might be the green light for them to push through. Precious Norcus though with a fantastic off angle from the second building here. Going to find head kick on the way in.
And that's going to let Marcelic and Melon know that this is time to go. The nice grenade again is going to find late and knocked, a head kick flush, and 300 now down to 2 up. Vox immediately goes for that res. Some good, well-placed Molotovs going to keep Norcus from peeking that angle. Vox going to try to hold it. Nefahor actually doing the work here for him as Melon gets knocked low. So good protection coming out from 300 there while they go for that res. Vox and Leda will push into the long building. Nefahor will stay behind cover. It looks like they've got a good idea where Norcus is now. They'd love to finish him off here.
Norcus tries to get a little peek on. A little bit of damage through the window, but an awful lot there to go. But actually, Melon and Marcelic going to find a 2-for-1 trade here. Last man standing for 300. Nefahor gets dropped, and ATC will actually stabilize, keep 3 alive, and put 4 kill points up. Really nice regroup from there. I guess 300 with the damage on the way in on that crash. Like I said, read it perfectly. I think identified that it was a split, but they weren't able to punish ATC for it.
Those long buildings, I've said it a million times. It just feels like those are the most brutal buildings to push in this game. And 300 pays the price that time around. Good collapse from ATC for their part, though. And got to give credit. I think Norcus might have been the difference in that fight with his side position there, kind of creating problems for 300. Now we're over to Liberate. We see him just south of La Bandita crater there, also just north of Los Leones. So a little bit of a 2-2 split here coming in for the Liberate gang, although they've got no cap starting to make a wrap onto their area from the east. Well, let's see where the new circle goes, and ATC is laughing.
Yeah, I mean, all worth it now, isn't it? Dodge actually positioned themselves over towards Picado as well. Now, we've got to take into account the power grid plateau and the unplayable kind of patches that surround that to the south and the east side, but Tactical 8 coming in on the north might have a good opportunity to at least scout out some of the compounds down the roadside if they're quick to it. A big migration from all the teams over on the south and the east side, though, and some tricky terrain to traverse.
A couple of teams sending it just right into Picado. It's going to be Dodge already there, Afromaniac's already there, and now Ascendance tries to come in late. Is Raven going to take some damage? Is Raven going to go down? But they will catch out Vegas in the process. So Meanwhile, Eternity kind of overseeing all of this from that that high ground, that hill just to the north side of Picado. Sonics also have eyes on this as well, and they can take shots. In fact, Tickleton is going to take the shot. Shrimsy going to do some damage as Ascendant's now down to 2. T-Sock has about 10 HP, 15 HP left. Afromaniacs, for their part, they got the north side. They're vibing. Nobody really taking any shots over in their area just yet.
Is Finna going to get a flush onto T-Sock there, cleaning up Hello Senpai's knock. Actually, Ampelot. So down here on the Motif, you can see actually Magi. Oh, hello. Eternity actually pulling up onto ATC's compound as well. Melon going to find the first steal before, but Marcelic down on the deck right now. If ATC can once again fend off a crash on this compound.
Oh boy. Well, it's starting off a little bit rougher for ATC here. Marcelic goes down. Melon going to go for the res. Narcus, you can see, trying to find an angle onto this hill, and he's going to spot out. Vexel gets knocked. Vexel goes down and flushed out. Good shooting from Melon. Now Norcus will find Jumbi. They do lose out on that res to Marcelic, so now it's just down to 2, and there you go. ATC. Did they clean it up? Yeah. No, Jumbi's still alive. Jumbi's still alive. Barely. Keep in mind, Eternity had the high ground over this. No pressure onto them. They decided to crash down onto this compound. And ATC is just holding against all comers.
Yeah, once again, I mean, we'll lose one in the fray, but fighting off a crash from a 4-man strong team, it's just Jumbi that remains, as you said. Over to the west side of the compound, and a decent opportunity to try and ride this out, at least survive a little, but I guess Eternity's game crumbling away. So they pinned everything on that crash. Meanwhile, in Picado, God's taking more casualties or more damage, I should say. Sonic's now from the high ground sending in. Yaxi actually going to find a knock onto Tiggleton, though, so little overzealous from him getting sniped from afar. It's ticking away. Shrimsy got to come over and get this one. Should be comfortable. I don't think he will bleed out in the meantime.
He's juking him.
He couldn't crawl around. He couldn't crawl around the pylon. Oh no.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate. That gets a big one for me. All right, the new circle pops down to the south. Sonics, despite losing one, they get a little bit of circle favor this time around. ATC has to move, though. No Cap already in vehicles on the move past Graveyard. They're going to take some damage from Fabled. Menok's going to get picked out of the vehicle here as Plube just leading the way at it, bringing up the rear. No Cap looks like they'll survive, but they do lose one in the process. The fight in Pachinki, meanwhile, still going on as Greg Shot's going to spot out Finna from Dodge. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, Spicy Fish just 4 deep inside the crater compound, and they are laying down the law here onto Barry Vibes right now, and Barry Vibes goes down. Machine Gunner is inconsolable right now, as that is his favorite streamer. Looks like Zulmox will make it through, though. Was anticipating there to be somebody down in that dip, but nobody was there. Oh no. Oh, he's got the gas trap. You'll love to see it. Will it work?
Will it work?
He knows it's coming. Shoot the stairs. Oh, you hear him. You hear him. Oh no. There it is.
Spread, though, I think actually did enough damage to keep him out there. He's burning away. And he'll get the knock as well. Drassel will find Poofas.
I am so happy to see these gas can plays start to come out here. As not even the Guadalajara kinds, the just regular kind. Jason gonna run away from this one. He's gonna take some shots in the back from Yaxley as Drassel defends his territory admirably. Ice Tech takes a few pokes. Not gonna find anything though, and now Jason is the one in a little bit of trouble. Looks like they're content to just take these shots back and forth. Nobody really pushing any further than they need to. 43 alive, 14 teams still up. T8 on the move from the high ground. Take a few shots from Afromaniacs and Picado as they try to take a little bit of this high ground away. Actually end up with a pretty decent spot here.
Decent, at least for the time being, to see if they can get situated. I mean, a lot of the pressure actually on the north side, I guess, around the crater flexed out. Oath, obviously, one of the teams that was there earliest. We'll see Sonic's now forced to play back into the compound, and TS in the midst of things will I guess, give T8 an opportunity to set up, but no cap actually sending on the way in. Only too strong. I guess just spotting out Crop's position there, and now the shots will come through. Weimer and Crop will open up onto them in transition. We'll have to send it a little further through and towards Afromaniacs, actually.
Yeah, Fabled is a little bit of a problem for T8 as well. They're taking a few shots in the backs of T8, but then Fabled has to turn and deal with Edge. As no cap, it looks like they might survive as they find this spot just underneath TS. Shireen, meanwhile, spots out the backs of Fabled. Everybody from both of those squads still not in the safe zone. Looks like Ploob going to be the only no capper to make it. He finds himself a shack that should provide him suitable cover for the next half a second. All right.
Should do for a second or two.
Should do indeed. Thanks, Ploob. I appreciate that one. And here we go. This is the other fight that we're kind of looking for. If, Edge has to figure out what they want to do here. It looks like they know Fabled is there. They're taking shots in their back, but they're considering wrapping down to the south. But they've got Oath that has shots over on top of them. They've got Spicy Fish as well. And now Edge is going to find Fabled. Shireen will find Hella, the tail end of Fabled, really. And now the rest of Fabled, who was creeping over towards T8, will have to turn all of their attention back towards their east side.
There was more utility sent over the top here. Fabled, I guess, looking as if they want to defend this. They know they've got position, at least if they can hold on to the ridge for the time being, whilst the circle will force Edge to make a move. And it looks like actually going to opt for the vehicle plate. Where do they send it here? The terrain pretty tricky to build up speed, so it's going to send it down into the crater. This could be their demise. That's
Can't headshot me out of the driver's seat if you can't see the driver's seat because I'm flipping all over the place, Nana says. As Edge does get down there, they're going to get the shots sent their direction from Spicy Fish. Nothing really landing just yet, and so far, so good for Edge. Now, Fabled can turn their full attention over towards T8 once again, but now they're having to do it as a three-man, as they did lose Hella to that backside push. T8 still set up, waiting for this push to inevitably come. They have the circle advantage. Simply Matt gets knocked immediately. Crop will find Faye, and now it's just down to Sneak Attack. Sneak Attack does have that low flank, though. Finds Desi, but gets immediately traded back, and that will be Fabled getting cleaned up.
Yeah, and Afromaniacs actually want to try and get involved in this, but they're going to get forced away. A little bit of third-party damage coming through from Dodge. Just to keep them in check for the time being. They have to pull away from that push uphill. I guess actually it's their saving grace, because Tactical 8 were ready for it. They were ready to peek down that ridge and potentially punish Afromaniacs for that brazen push up the side of the hill there.
They did have one on the res, but the other two were definitely looking and already prepared for the push. Monty taking a few shots down towards Liberate. This is going on the south side, outside of circle. Oath, meanwhile, repositioning. They hear these shots. Let's see if they can maybe get themselves in a spot to feed off of whatever makes its way out of this. Nothing really landing for Monty just yet. Ice Tag, meanwhile, has crept up into throwable range. Looking to see if he can maybe spot any of the Comets boys making a mistake, but Yaxley, with the good eyes, will spot him out. Liberate a little bit pinned down here right now, with the exception of Ice Tech. Evolution and Jason are just kind of stuck. Oh, look at Relo.
Yeah, Relo flexing out this direction as well. And actually, Oath have got the time and the space in order to do this as well. Comets have got to make a move. Liberate stuck right in between it, pinched, so to say. The Comets got to be the ones to move first. So Liberate actually might be able to post some kill points before they inevitably have to make a desperation move into the circle.
Comets.
Actually, yeah, already on the move here, sending it towards Sonics. I guess have an opportunity to pull up on the backside of the ridge here, but it'll be difficult for them to get comfortably set up, I feel, with the sight lines up here.
It ain't great. It ain't great, but this is what they've got to work with. They've left Lee Axley just a little bit farther back to do a little bit of scouting for them. Meanwhile, T8 scrapping again with Afromaniacs. They've taken out 2. Here you go. You can see Comets setting themselves up. Sonics, whatever throwables they've got, they're sending them down. And some grenades from Comets missing right here as Yaxley will try to find 2. Oh no, Liberate. That's not where you wanted to go. 2 easy kills for Yaxley. And there you go. Ice Tech's going to go down to the blue, and that's Liberate taken care of. T8 was winning this fight with Afromaniacs. They had 2 knocks. Afromaniacs ends up getting both of these reses off. I believe True Sight has come over the top and started scrapping with T8. And here we go. Another another longhouse push. Let's see how it goes this time.
Comets have actually got the opening knock here, but it looks like Sonics are able to reset and get that res away and going to invest a little bit of utility down to that end. Hopefully Mime going to be able to get this first aid kit off and just allow them to set up for this push. The inevitable push from Comets. Try and clear out the rest of the building. Surprised, actually, nobody's really got a sight line onto the backside of Comets. You can see Dodge pushing up the hill here. Hello Senpai very close by, and Lampalot actually not in a position to help him. They could really punish Comets here for taking this long.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic's making the right play. They just laid down the heavy smoke wall. Throw Molotovs in there as well, and Comets really can't do anything. The pause has been put on, and as you said, Hello Senpai now has crept up right underneath Lampalot. Gonna come and join him. Hello Senpai just waiting to see, I think waiting for support here more than anything, but Drassel is kind of creeping around that edge. I don't think he took shots there, and here you go. The push is coming through. Drassel actually going down to a nice grenade from Win, and a Shrimsy going down, or gets the knock on the pack caps. As Comets starting to fall apart here, it's just down to Yaxley and Monty. They have the high ground. Now Dodge has gotten involved as well. Hello Senpai will creep up. Shrimsy gets a few shots in, won't get the knock though. Now Sonics realize there might be a third player involved. They retreat back to their former position. And this push has been put on hold yet again.
Yaxley now the last man standing as some utility invested. See there, Yaxley will actually find Hello Senpai. Knock comes through and enough damage to find the bleed out credit. The Sonics actually the ones that survived through with the man advantage here, keeping 3 up. I guess we'll stand the test of both teams pushing onto the long building for the time being at least.
The crazy part about it is that it hadn't really even been a whole lot of Sonics doing the work there. It's just been it was one pretty well placed grenade. It was the only kill that they got. Here's TAC 8 trying to hold off another crash from Afromaniacs. This has been going on forever, and no crop will get taken down by Shireen. Afromaniacs lose Greg's shot. Are they going to keep pushing onto this? I think they realize that Edge might be down 1.
Yeah.
Want to get spotted? There you go. Free me, please. We'll get that knock and flush back to back. And now Edge, they do get the res onto Femme Fatale, but the push has been put on hold. We're down to a 3v3 and Oath. You can see them. They have blood in their nostrils. They are coming over here to see if they can clean up whatever's left.
So actually decently timed here. Snake is going to open up onto Shireen. Get a freebie to open things. Reload now actually coming around onto the right side of this and clean up the rest of Edge as their backs against the blue. Decent damage comes through initially. Reload will clean that one up. Femme Fatale responds with 1 knock of their own, but just a matter of time before Oath close the distance here. Sliding down the hill, Kickstart will find it eventually. Oh no, Afromaniac's actually coming through.
Ooh.
Light Show getting a little overzealous and will get traded out here on the knock with some damage going. Oath need to stabilize. Supernova flying through a good nade. Actually, look at Snaker finds one as well.
Oh, I thought Show had him dead to rights, but Snaker had the quick turn right on the Show, and the great grenade is also going to take out Supernova. Drops it down to just free me, please. Afromaniac's having a pretty nice game for themselves. 8 kills on the board already, but now it's just down to free me, please. It's down to the top 3. Sonics survive the longhouse push. I believe they only have 2 kills right now, if I'm not mistaken, as Oath still keep all 4 alive. They know that Freemy is around here somewhere. The last thing they want to do is give away one for free. They don't. They will find Freemy. And now it is going to be the classic El Clasico, Oath versus Sonics for the finish.
Have it any other way. Right here is Sonic's trying to flex out and find some space with H-Win and Mime down to the south side, and maybe try and work a different angle here as Shrimsy can stay put. Kickstart got the right read on the situation though, and Oath are going to spread out as well. So this makes it very difficult, and actually relies on Sonics to be the ones to, I guess, find the best value from this ridge. Enough time to ride out this circle though, so we will see phase 8. If anybody does gain a little bit of a positional advantage from this new circle posting.
A game of chess between 2 players from the same school, as they both teams matching the moves made by the other. Mime and H-Win down to the south. Kickstart, Snakers, and Relo will hold that side as well, and Balefrost and Shrimsy have been left to the north. Prevent any potential wraps. See, Balefrost can provide some support from range here. Snaker's 8 kills in the bag. He is on one right now as the new circle pops. And it's not really favoring either team. Oath immediately going to send Reload to center dot, essentially, for what would be circle 9 if they get to that point. Sonics probably, I guess, in the worst position, as they will have their backs up against the wall, but they still have this ridge line to work around.
Yeah, they do. Oath definitely have more access to the space on the northeast side of this with the way
we're throwing ammo.
Comes back. Yeah. It's about time people start utilizing it, man. I can't remember who it was I criticized. It might have been McCoy. And he's like, yeah, actually, I completely forgot about that mechanic. And I saw a couple of, it might have been Spicy Fish throwing ammo or meds back and forth yesterday. It made me very happy. Very happy.
A great mechanic. Love to see it. And a good catch as well.
Good hands. Good hands.
Good hands. Good hands. And, looks like Snaker's going to start creeping down over here to the south as well. Oath content to just use their 4-man advantage to try to overpower anything that might be waiting for them on this south side. Looks like they're preparing to maybe do a push here. It's going to put pressure on Mime and H-Win the hold, and it looks like Shrimsy is getting the word to come over here as well. And here comes the push. Slowly but surely, Mime in that good position. He's going to open it up, find some shots onto Snakers, immediately reposition because you know those grenades are coming.
Oh, yeah, actually did about 30 damage with that first one onto Mime now. As I gotta say, Oath kind of leaving an opportunity for Shrimsy to wrap back to the north, but chooses not to. And Reload being the point man, like you said, the one to play closest to the center here. Oath trying to prioritize the south and maybe get a pick on the extremity, remove Mime from the equation, but just a slight trade-off of damage for the time being. And the star will post. That's going to come in the next 3 seconds. So maybe the blue that decides to, I guess, be the catalyst in this situation and force the fight to happen.
Look at this wrap from Kickstart. He sent it all the way up to the north side here. We'll see if he decides to push forward. And remember, Shrimsy's still holding that northern side down for Sonics. It's H-Win and Mime continue to hold down the southern side. Trade comes through. Snakers does a little bit more damage to H-Win. Mollies aren't going to find a hit just yet. Smokes are starting to get laid down. Right now, it's just a game of flashbangs more than anything. And okay, H-Wing gonna take, or Mime actually gonna take some more damage here. It looks like Shrimsy has spotted out. Kickstar gets a nice headshot in there. But that's gonna give away his position. Now Relo is starting to look over in that direction as well. Nice grenade from Kickstar, gets him down to about 60. Shrimsy will have to stop and push. Oh, Relo, he's gonna find one, and now Mime goes down as well, and it's all down to Shrimsy. Balefrost was taken out in the trade. Shrimsy will find Snakers. Snakers wins the 1v1. And Oath gets the win with 11 kills.
Yeah, I mean, really firing up. Like I said, from that game one, it's just kind of been from strength to strength. A little funkiness with the Shaq plays on Erangel, but this time around we come into Miramar and they open things up with a double-digit win. And considering the day they had yesterday was a little bit of disappointment for me, they've really picked up the slack on day two.
Absolutely. I mean, it's fantastic to see what Oath is capable of doing when they aren't confined 3 men into a shack. So, you know, give them a little bit of space and look what they can do. 11 kills and a win. You love to see it. Miramar is working out pretty good for them so far. But that being said, we have one game left to play today, guys. We're going to take a quick break, get everybody into that lobby. When we come back, we'll have your leaderboards ready to go, and we will be heading into our final game of the day. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say,
seen you. I've patrolled these empty thoughts before, but I'm fixed now on the cure. I'm holding on to the last rock on the mountaintop, and I'm begging for your love. Do you remember the type of folk we used to be, and the simple souls we used to see? Do you remember a fallen man with no escape? It seems he lives in yesterday. If you played away, well, I forgive you once again. I'm losing patience, and I know for sure that we've been right here before. I see the dangers, baby, I'm not crying over you. There's no point denying we're through, 'cause baby, I'm not crying over you. There's just shit that I've gotta do.
Hello, everybody. We are back once again. We have 4 games in the books. We have an Oath victory, and we have a leaderboard to show you. There it is. Oath, 21 points, and the chicken dinner to go along with it. Afro Maniacs have been quietly having one heck of a day, though.
They actually have. They've been building up steam, putting points up consistently, and I think if we can flip over to the overall leaderboards, it's going to be well reflected for them as actually find themselves getting all the way up to 6th place. Now, if we look at it, let's see the top side of the cluster here. Obviously, Tactical 8 still up at 62. Actually, also posting consistent points. To be honest, I would have thought actually with the games they've had, they might have let their foot off the gas a little bit. But that chicken dinner, obviously, keeping pace with the teams surrounding them as well. But yeah, it's crazy to consider really with the 2 games that Eternity have had today that's where Afromaniacs and Tactical 8 sit around them.
I mean, it's kind of worth noting. It's not even so much that they're hanging out around where they were after day 1. It's the fact that they haven't dropped off. The performance is still being is still holding pretty high. I mean, yesterday TAC 8 finished in 6th with 33 points, and now they're sitting with 62 with 1 game remaining. So great day for them. Afromaniacs as well were in 7th with 29. Now they find themselves up with 57 in 6th place. So some of these teams that we were maybe not looking too closely at, obviously with a lot of the big names and a lot of the big news that came down yesterday right before the day started with the signing of TSM, maybe some of the attention was drawn away from them, but now they are getting a little bit more sent their way. But you got to give credit to Oath as well. 9th place yesterday with only 24 points, and they've now managed to climb all the way into 3rd with 71 after a great performance so far today.
Yeah, like I said, they've just kind of been building momentum, gone from strength to strength in terms of the games and the points they were able to post, and finally now posting out the win. Like I said, they did heat up towards Miramar, at least yesterday, and it wasn't a great performance overall with, I guess, the total amount of points. But yeah, absolutely kicking things off well here in day 2 and potentially looking to finish strong once again on Miramar.
And I am nothing if I'm not a sellout for what I know is everybody's favorite team in chat. Got to give Sonics credit as well. 40 points through 4 games, 10 point per game average so far. Only 3 teams finished above 40 points yesterday, so they've been having a fantastic day as well, although it may not be as reflective because they've only played 1 day. So it's got to give Sonics credit as well. Snaker is going to be your kill leader after that game with 8. Melon putting up another 5 as ATC just doing everything they could to hold that 1 compound against all comers.
Snake is actually the highest of the day as well, 799 on the damage. Yeah, we know he was very. Well, you have 6 coming into the final fight, the top 2, I guess, versus Sonics. It was he was already posted 6 kills throughout the game at that point already. So good stuff from him. It's always nice to see us pop off and have a strong game.
Indeed it is. The boy is cracked. Well, we are ready to go into our final game of the evening. Our final game on Miramar for today. Now, keep in mind, everybody, that we will be back once again tomorrow with groups A and C. So you will see TSM versus Sonics once again tomorrow. And Actually, after this one's all over, I'm gonna see if I can give a little bit of a LATAM update as well, because we all know that this is just the group stages for North America. Meanwhile, LATAM having their group stages as well. Figure out who will be going on to the PCS4 America's Grand Finals. So far, things looking pretty good here in North America. Top 6 will be the ones to move on, while there is going to be a last chance qualifier next weekend as well. Looking to see if anybody's dropping on top of each other, but it looks like everybody's pretty good, with the exception of Afromaniacs, who are taking up just about as much of the west side of this thing as they can. And well, okay, it's going to pay
Would
off.
you look at that?
How about that? I love it when a statement comes together.
As
The ran.
yeah, I guess it's almost like free me please as close to an AFK drop, I think, as humanly possible.
It's true, and it ends up working out well for him. I mean, hey, Show deciding to drop down all the way damn near Chumacera just to get a vehicle. He was the first one to press F in that situation, and maybe the rest of his team wasn't as on board with it as he was. But you know what? It ends up pretty well for him, as they have that little west of El Pozo drop. Dodge also looking pretty decent in El Pozo proper. Eternity, after winning 2 games on Erangel today, have the northeastern part of the circle over in La Cabrera and Crater Fields. We'll see them most likely have to defend their positioning eventually from some of these long rotating teams around to the north side. That will come in time.
Yeah, well, I mean, your eyes go towards potentially, TS, AETC, or Oath, or a team that might opt to try and wrap into the least congested side of the circle. Because again, it's another circle we could say, I think, for in terms of these bottlenecks, the choke points in terms of rotation paths coming in towards the center here. It's not very accessible for a lot of teams that look to come in. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, it's so one of the spots that seems to be like a real danger area normally in these kind of circles is on there in Monte Nuevo, and just kind of off to the east and toward that red brick area. But right now it's so far south that I would be surprised to see Spicy Fish hang around in that area too long. Would expect them to maybe rotate a little bit farther north, see if they can find something to play from there, and maybe leave Monte Nuevo empty. We'll see what happens, though, as we check in with Dodge, our El Pozo team. Hello Senpai going to send it up towards the cliffside compounds, just to the north of Pozo, see what he can see. Looks like Lampalot doing a little pre-scouting for him here.
And actually, 4F, Alpha Maniacs, flexing up to the north, just almost kind of saying to themselves,
"Come and get your love." I hate you so much.
well, actually, Show's made it all the way down to the south side of the crossroads as well. So he's kind of trying to, I guess, secure any teams that actually on the flip side of what we're talking about, any teams that potentially wrap to the north. There's an opportunity to wrap down to the south side, right, on that west road.
Yeah, sure is. Well, we'll see if Afromaniacs actually gets in trouble here with this split, because Supernova Greg Shot started looking off to the north to see what they could find, and what they find is a rotating Eternity. Although it is just a 2v2 right now, you do have Hello Senpai that does have vision on what's going on over here as well, so that is a potential third party coming in. Soup, by the way, going to creep up a little bit closer while Vexel keeps an eye on what's going on off to the side. Meanwhile, Monte Nuevo, Sonics is going to push in, but as I was anticipating, Spicy Fish not going to do any camping around there. They are instead going to go ahead and take that hilltop location just to the north of Monte, just to the west of Bricks. And are they going to stop there? No, looks like they're still going.
There's actually not as many teams as I would have expected making a mad dash for this one. ATC and Fabled going to get into it, as Eternity and Afromaniacs now find themselves contesting the same compound. And we know Eternity were the team that came over from La Cobreria and Crater Fields.
Oh, no, Show.
Actually, look at that. It's Lampalot actually from distance that's going to find Show
Yeah,
actually trying to transition back up to try and regroup with the rest of his team.
Well, Show dropping away from the rest of his team ends up paying the price there as he tries to get up here to join this fight, gets taken out by running right through Dodge, and now Afromaniacs in the 3v3 inside the compound. Vexel providing a little bit of anchor support from range with that mini, although it looks like he's now in the vehicle, and they want to take it as we have once again 3 games in a row see the long house push coming out. I swear I thought they started figuring this out a little bit better. Supernova 17 rounds in the micro Uzi. Can he make them work? Of course he can, as he finds the knock on a steal. And now he is telling him, I am worthless, guys. I cannot do anything else except for be a meat shield, essentially. Jumbi gonna work on the top of the roofs here. He does spot out somebody, doesn't manage to get any knocks though. That AK got to be a big player. Soup, by the way, gonna be the only one inside. Jumbi gets spotted though, and now it's all down to Soup with the scar. He's gonna go for the res, and what the?
Sure.
I thought he got 2 knocks. Okay, all right.
Afromaniacs live through another scrap once again. It feels like their 20th of the day. As this team just keep finding kill points, man. They're going to hold off Eternity here in the long building, and Eternity will be the first team eliminated in the final match of the day. After starting things off so well on Erangel, we talked about it a couple of times in between maps, but I got to say, it doesn't really grant Afromaniacs a lot of freedom here as ATC now position themselves to the north, and they're in a scenario where they've lost Light Show. They've kind of lost the ability to maybe play a little aggressively towards the mid game here and capitalize on a central position.
But they've gained 4 kills, and that's what matters. That's what really matters, right? Meanwhile, Comets, they're making their way into the south side of the circle, gonna just avoid Edge on the southern part of Montenuevo. T8 slowly making their way in from the south on this same road. So it looks like Comets is trailing Ascendants. Not sure if they spotted them out and they know about them, but they're kind of following the same trail, just a little bit behind them. So it looks like most of our teams now have made it into the circle, with the exception of No Cap and Liberate. We're just outside, and another fight in the middle here of Opozo as 300 will run into Sneak Attack. That's Fable down to 2.
It's difficult here holding on to Pozo. You've got to play these splits so carefully. Obviously, any team that does, has ended up rotating 2 or 3 kilometers to get into this circle, they're just going to dive one building. They're just going to try and pin things on, capitalizing on just that situation. The team playing split, trying to hold on to the edge of the city. The 300 will find a footfall. Spicy Fish actually down to the south of this as well. So
yeah.
I get good information on this, and there's one player, I can't see who it is on the map, but one member of Spicy Fish actually up towards the arena.
Roth.
Oh, for sure it is.
100% Roth. I don't even need to see the name. I already know. Is he separated away from the rest of the team? That's Roth. I was actually, I was noticing that, and I was going to ask you, we tend to say that sending it into the middle of a city in circle 1 is usually not the play, right? You don't usually like to do that, but Spicy Fish sending all 4 into the middle of El Pozo this time around. What do you think it is that they're seeing? Are they just kind of anticipating this being a city circle, or?
I mean, Pozo's a little different from others because there's so many routes out of it. And again, if you can,
fantastic map stream right there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect. Look at that. San Martin deep in the blue. Look at that. Nobody in Bendita right now. Hey. Hey.
We just gotta give the observers a little nonsense for that. But yeah, what do you back to El Pozo?
I think with Pozo, it's a little different to some other cities. Hold that thought. Actually, Evolution going to try and connect this drive-by. We'll find nothing but the cliff edge here. There's Liberate trying to get into it with Tactical 8 and just circling each other. I don't know what the plan is for either Destiny to now run into the north, a couple more players from Taxway William down to the south side now. Jason actually going to open things up onto Crop.
Oh, Jason with the hard push. He's going to find a second one too. Steezy goes down. Crop is allowed to live just because he's hiding in the smoke. William will come up over the top. See, oh, this could be an easy nade for William. He's going to find the ditch. Does some damage to Jason. He heard the footsteps. Yeah, he's going to see him. There you go. William will get one back off of Liberate. But it is William all by himself. Desi, you can see off in the distance, already low. William going to try to get in the motorcycle. Oh, Ice Tech. You cannot let that man get away.
Yes, he can. Yeah, we were with the little honk of the horn on the way out as well.
He knows he got away with one right there. He's got to know he got away with one right there. That AK, I thought he was absolutely dead for sure. But looks like T8 will keep two alive, and they end up sending it into Monty, which is safe for now. Much longer? Who knows? Okay. What do we have here? So right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams inside of El Pozo. Still have 4 teams off to the north that are trying to sort things out. And these are 3 of them. No Cap and ATC all keeping eyes on True Sight, who is not just pinned, but now they are in the blue.
These things that I guess towards the north side now slow down because there's so much space, and ATC now the ones trying to, I guess, hug the edge as it comes in. Also like looking back over towards TS now, but a lot invested here to just secure these kill points for ATC. I gotta say they're sacrificing a lot of time to try and put them up as No Cap. So the remnants of No Cap actually going to get ahead of them now.
Well, Oath was the other team that was up there off to the north, but they managed to get on the move a little bit quicker. I'll take the high ground overlooking El Pozo just off to the east. As the circle collapses in, ATC looked like they were on the move, looked like they were heading into the circle, but then they get out of vehicles and now they've gone back to committing to this fight. And there you go. The circle will fall on El Pozo. You'll get the El Pozo fields as well. And a lot of empty real estate on that western side just because of how these shifts have worked out. Or eastern side, rather.
Yeah. I know what you meant.
Yeah. Well, look, everybody, I'm going to get corrected a million times here as we see the fight that will never end. I don't know. Like, how tilted are you that this is happening if you're True Sight?
I mean, I'm tilted just watching it, to be honest. Red Rider going to fall to the blue now as Master that comes out to, I guess, seal the deal on this. We'll get the run over there on Red Rider. Arson now heads away in the Bronco. But like I said, lots invested to secure these points. I hope they're worthwhile.
Awful lot invested here as we see Dodge summarily dispatch with No Cap there. They have the southwestern section of El Pozo now to themselves. Send, oh no, Raven, you have entered no man's land, and Liberate will finish him off as rest of Send, it looks like, is on that southwestern part of the new circle. Esau going to take a few shots over in that direction. Comets, meanwhile, have a little bit of a wider split just north of where Ascendance is. Liberate in a little bit of trouble as they're finding themselves very, very pinched on the outside here.
Once he's sending out a couple of shots to Liberate as they try to, I guess, wrap up towards the north. There is an opportunity for actually Liberate to make their way back into the west side of Pozo. There's lots of teams that gravitated towards the southeast, I guess anticipating the opportunity of getting some kill points down in the field as things open up, but nobody playing the barn compound down to the southeast of that field as well. Edge, probably the closest ones to identify it's open, but that's some prime real estate up for grabs right now.
Absolutely. T8 trying to make the run, but they've been spotted out by Shireen and Nana. Shots are coming through, but just at that range where a little bit more difficult to hit these, especially when they're on bikes and buggies, moving pretty quickly across those open fields. ATC, meanwhile, after their triumphant battle against True Sight, oh no, Arson got all the way through this, gets out of there, and now he's gonna run into him again. Fortunately for him, ATC can't get the line on him. But things are not out of the woods just yet for young Arson. He's down to 45 HP, and he's having to make the gauntlet, and he's going to send it to the fields. He's going to land right behind Relo. He's going to land right on top of Relo, and Relo will do the honors. True Sight goes down in 14th.
I like that. Actually, just the exact same moment somebody from ATC dies. So it's almost like just a little tip of the cap on their way out there. It's just like, yeah, was it worth it? I hope it was.
Well, you can see Oath starting to make their move from that high ground that they had. The new circle pops there. Relo and Balefrost, I guess Oath doing the good job of scouting. They're going to get there first. 300 tries to bring it up behind them. Do some damage onto Relo, or onto Balefrost. Now Relo is a little bit by himself. He's going to find Vox. He's going to find Leda. Relo does eventually go down to Neff, gets flushed. But here comes that grenade could be huge, and it is. Kickstart.
Got Nefahor, 1 HP.
Nefahor, the last one. He's got 1 HP, and that's not going to be enough to carry him. 300 gets flushed out. I owe 7 kills now, and he's going to let him know about it.
Yeah, let him know. Whoop. Okay.
Whoop.
That was probably the biggest backflip I've ever seen from a vehicle explosion there. It was like 10 to 15 feet there.
That's some
decent hang time on that.
Yeah, ATC going to try to send it through the fields now. And Balefrost takes a few shots over in that direction. Kickstart going to join him as well, but for the most part, not that bad of a rotation considering it's through a wide open field in Circle 4.
Considering they were just outside Trailer Park not too long ago, as it was like mere minutes ago.
Yeah,
they were trying to camp up on that side. So
I mean,
get back in on the east side here.
How frustrating does it make you, the fact that ATC camped out a team in the blue on the north side for that long, and then they automatically they send it in, they lose 1 player, and they get a central position in the middle of the fields?
Hey, what do I know,
kills.
man? Well played to them. Well played to them. That was well thought out, a structured rotation there from start to finish.
Luck had no part in it whatsoever.
Yeah, I hear a golf clap in the background now.
Well, Dodge on the move again, and they are going to find themselves running right into Comets, who's a little bit split. The trades are coming through. Lamp's going to find 2. Grassel will find Hello Senpai. 7 kills on the board for Dodge already. They can win this fight. They'll be set up for a very, very nice game number 5 here, as it looks like, actually, it looks like Yaxley might be the last one left, and he's just bailing out of this. So Comets, they go ahead and lose that fight. Dodge will get back up to 4. Yeah, get back up to 4. Not too bad.
And actually clear a lot of space for themselves. You can see Yaxley's got to tuck his tail between his legs. Try and escape, but Shrimsy will find the headshot on the way into the shack there, and Comets will fall in 12th. Now, Dodge, like I said, access to a lot of space on this high ground here, and with that next circle posting, gives them a really, really good opportunity.
Oof.
Get set up and situated here.
Spicy fish. They made the decision to send it to El Pozo very early. And now in Circle 5, they've got some work ahead of them here, as they not only have the teams inside of El Pozo with them, they have to make their way through Dodge and Oath. As we check in with Team Edge, still have that very wide split on the south side. It's only Honey and Nana here in the 1v1 against Wiam. We've seen Wiam win these. I'm just gonna hold. I think we have. We've seen that flowing mane get some pretty big damage in. Is now Afromaniac's gonna try to keep Liberate pinned. Only 2 left for the Liberate boys. They've got a lot of room to reposition here as they work their way through this warehouse. Afromaniac's watching every angle here. Smokes are laid down. Let's see if it's going to be enough to get them through. be a slow burn on that one as we cut back to seeing Spicy Fish. They've sent 2 out. They've got 2 across the street at least. Watchful eyes of Finna. Me seeing what he can see as part of that Liberate and Afromaniacs fight goes on. William, meanwhile, does not win those apparently. And there you go. Finna gonna provide some support. Evolution gets a knock onto Supernova. As Liberate will trade it back and forth. Two-Face gets the knock.
Ross making a play.
Oh, Ross making plays once again. Which tours? Greg Shot does win it, and that's going to be Liberate going down. But how many players did Afromaniacs lose in that process? Spicy Fish make it all the way across the street. Dodge unable to hold them at bay. Big Cliff providing
big
the
fight,
good
yeah.
one. This is a huge fight, and Oath actually starting to group up.
Yeah.
And listening over here, they don't want to commit too much to it. They can't risk exposing their backs to everything off to their east, but they can get involved in this. If they can maybe find a throwable knock, that would be huge.
This is I mean, bigger picture wise, this is a pivotal fight for how this game really plays out, especially if Dodge take casualties at least in holding Spicy Fish at bay. Belfast did come back over and regroup with the rest of Oath, so like actually Spicy Fish got to respect the positioning here, and I guess both teams going to opt to coexist for the time being.
Yeah,
Well, where'd that nade even come from? Was that Oath throwing that nade over?
I think that might have been Oath. Yeah, Oath has been sending some utility over there for a while now. The new circle pops, and all these teams now going to be outside. Sonics on that southwestern side as well could start creeping up over onto the western side of the circle and be involved in this fight soon, but they might have to deal with Edge instead. Gonna be a slow burn here. Now it looks like Spicy Fish might be turning their attention more towards Oath. They might realize that Oath's position was more fortified than Dodge. So Spicy Fish having to make a decision here, and neither one really looking that good for them.
No, so the lesser of two evils really got to pick between. As Keenan will open things up onto Finna with a nade. Might be. Actually, Snaker's got a third party that's in here. Gets a lot of damage onto Roth after finding the first nade, but Knox coming through thick and fast here. Snakers finds another as well. It's just down to Uncivil now. Roth does get downed in the fray. Actually, Dodge just down to one left standing. Also, Oath up to 10 kills now, just feasting on this situation over on the west side.
I mean, it's absolutely huge. Spicy Fish did everything that they could. But Oath with the perfectly placed and timed third party there. I mean, Dodge loses 3 to Spicy Fish. Oath cleans up the kills. And now it's just down to Civ and Lampalot. Oath still aware that there is one left for Spicy Fish. Civ only down to Bandies. 41 HP. Blue at his back. Blue on top of him. Gonna knock him low, and the grenade from Snakers will do it.
Really, really well played by Oath there. They're honestly capitalizing on the vast majority of all the kill points available. I mean, Spicy Fish and Dodge were both 8 up. Both 4 up, so 8 kills in total there available. I'm pretty sure Oath got like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the Oath playing fantastic map awareness and patience there, knowing that they had a very, very strong position, that they did not have to leave that. They did not have to try to push onto that fight. The fight was eventually going to come to them, and they were going to have the advantage. So they sit there, they wait it out, and it pays off huge. Still 3 up. Sonics now leave their compound. They have complete control over the southwestern side, and they are just picking up whatever's left out here, as it is nothing but solos. Although ATC still have 3 up in the field.
The plan all along, man.
It was. What can you say, man? When the plan works, it's not a bad plan if it works, right? ATC flying in the face of everything that PUBG common sense would have you believe, and they're making it work. Although this is going to be asking a little bit much here, as the circle does fall in favor of Sonics. Oath still on the move, but all eyes really kind of on ATC here. But Sonics Lime, Shrimsy, Tig, all starting to work out there to see if they can do something about this Oath situation.
Things slow down for the time being. Oath got to make a move south. Simply Matt kind of caught out in no man's land. He's just on a single hay bale or something at the bottom of the hill, or at least at the edge of the field here, as Shrimsy will find a knock onto Melon.
Oath is being a giant pain in the butt for Sonics here. This terrain is just not making it so that Sonics can really push onto this and clean this up. Oath has so many nice little hills and ridges to hide behind. One thing that Sonics doesn't really have to worry about is the third party from their backs. The only thing really down there, actually, there's two players from Ascendance down there, but it looks like H-Win has them completely pinned down, and Bale. The nasty shots there onto Icy Flex. That'll be another res, and looks like Simply Matt has been spotted out as well. Tried to make the run. Kickstart will take care of him, and that's 14 kills now for Oath. Sonics have 9, as these two teams are just cannibalizing this lobby.
It was, honestly, Sonics quietly made their way through the mid game and posted up these kills, and now in the end game able to put a few more to boot. Shots coming out from H-Win there to also was that Melon back inside that smoke, but Oath used this time make a mad dash into this next circle. There's Mime, Shrimsy, and Tiggleton overlooking this here. H-Win just able to free farm damage into the hill, but Oath actually now the ones to pick up these kills onto ATC. Everybody's shooting at ATC right now.
Oh, and they trade them all. They get them all down. I think Oath ends up getting 2 of them, I believe. Sonics getting 1. Actually, maybe the other way around. I think Sonics got 2, Oath got 1. But now it's down to the 4v3. H-Win separated from the rest of the boys, but that could be the thing that counts. This is a disgusting flank coming out from H-Win, and looks like, oh, but unfortunately for them, Snakers, I think, spots them. And Shrimpsy going to try to provide a little bit of support as well. Sonics just spreading out, as once again, 2 games in a row, it's a Sonics versus Oath for the win.
So this really for Oath to seal the deal on a fantastic day in terms of points gained here. H-Win can kind of just play info, or at least some information fact finding over there on the east side. Put down some pings, make sure that teammates are well equipped to receive any aggression from Oath. But 16 kills for Oath now, and potential to find a 20 kill banger here if they can clean up Sonics in the end game.
It's going to be rough, man. It's going to be real rough. H-Win, no matter how, he can't go out any farther on that flank because of the cover, the sight lines that Oath has to really work with here. So that plan looks like it's being scrapped in favor of grouping together.
Well, actually, I feel like Oath potentially have better access to the center, but they're bunched in together here. So Sonics definitely have more space to play with. And actually, a complete mirror image of the previous game. It's a man advantage in favor of Sonics this time around. Previously, it was Oath had the numbers advantage, and H-Win now fall back in formation with the rest of Sonics. See who shows their hand first.
H-Win with 6 kills. I believe it was somebody on Oath has 8. Can't remember who it was. I think it's Kickstart, actually. Yeah. So there you go. Snakers, actually. Okay, there you go. Sonics have the dot this time. So once again, a complete mirror image of what we saw last game. This Oath will have to make some kind of moves, and not a lot of utility left in those Oath pockets. See, I only saw 1 smoke, a few Molotovs still. I believe Snakers may have an idea that Shrimsy is down at that rocks. Oath just taking their time here. Sonics just doesn't want to be, they want to be patient here. They don't want to be greedy. Oh, I'm getting caught on fire there.
This is a little bit of a stalemate here as Shrimsy just waiting for contact elsewhere for him to be able to swing out on the backside of this rock. Might actually catch a glimpse of Balefrost there. A little bit of damage goes through, but nothing to write home about for sure. The Molotov potentially actually going to force him off here.
It's a well-timed molly, and that might actually be the signal to go here. Sonics tries to take advantage of that opportunity while Oath is distracted slightly. Balefrost will find Shrimsy. Trade comes through. Does some damage onto Snakers. Actually, Kickstart gone down as well, and now it's just down to Snakers into 1v2, and Sonics will win it. 14 kills for Sonics, and the bookend. They had the game 1 win. They get the game 5 win as well, on top of a fantastic day for the Sonic squad.
Yeah, it's a really good day actually for both teams considering. I know thought the final point count will come in for Oath, but it's a similar day to what TSM had yesterday. So just goes to show. I mean, the day 1 was 24 points and they end up 90 odd. So really, really good stuff for Oath to turn that around, and a solid average gain throughout the night.
Absolutely. I mean, we basically saw just a handful of teams in this B versus C lobby that just kind of took over. It feels like the leaderboard very one-sided in the favor of maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 teams. Sonic's Oath obviously being the big winners there, but T8 Afromaniacs also showing up in a really big way.
Yeah, and I think as well it's a similar situation to yesterday where it's very top heavy. So lots of these kind of middle of the pack teams have probably struggled throughout today. So it's going to be tough for them really to make up the ground on the final day. Obviously, again, with the lobby switching back over and DSM coming right back in, and you got to expect they're going to try and farm out the points as well for themselves once again.
For sure. You also got to give credit to Team Eternity. They had the 2 wins on the day. They jump up in that leaderboard a little bit, although Miramar kind of fell off a little bit there towards the end. But let's take a look. I'm not sure if we have our leaderboards just yet. Not yet. So I guess we'll talk about this one. But yeah, so okay. A and C tomorrow. You've got obviously TSM, Zenith, Rumblers that all had very big days on day number 1. And then you now have from Group C, Sonics, any trolls in the chat having decent days as well. Is it going to be just like the TSM Sonic show, do you think, tomorrow?
I feel like it's setting up to be that way. Yeah, it's like I said, with both days kind of playing out this time around. I mean, Spicy Fish also kind of continued some of that momentum. You got to feel like there's 2 or 3 kind of big names in these groups that are sponging up right now. And actually, Oath to be one to do it today. Like I said, I don't want to come back to it, but they were one of the slow starters, right? If they'd have, had a better day 1, actually contested some of those points that went towards the TSM, Spicy Fish, and Zenith in that original day 1 lobby, might be looking at a different scenario here.
Yeah, that Group A, the AB lobby not really favoring Oath nearly as much. Obviously, this BC lobby working out really, really well for them. But we'll see how they can adapt once we get over to tomorrow. A couple of teams in there that I would like to see turn things around or continue really. Rumblers, I would love to see them continue to do well. And I think Veritas maybe underperforming a little bit in day 1, but we'll see what happens. Sonics, there is your game 5 winner with 24 total points. Oath, though, in second with 23.
It's not often you see that. It is not often you see that, where it's 1 point separating both teams accumulating over 20 points. But again, I mean, it just comes back to like this is a perfect example of just how top heavy these games are.
Yeah, and it was a pretty wild and wacky circle over there in the West to finish things off here in El Pozo, and Sonics and Oath both playing it very differently, but finding equal levels of success. Let's see what the overall leaderboard looks like for the day or the tournament so far. Oath jumping all the way up into first place off of that one, and that is going to be them in first with 94 points. Spicy Fish 81 points. A little bit of a slower ride today than they had in day number 1, but still pretty solid.
It's 53 on day 1, and again, just to put it in perspective, TSM still sitting in 3rd overall here on
Yeah.
72 points. But yeah, Oath just a couple of points away from the pace there on their day 2 performance. So really, really good stuff from them. But for me, I got to shout out the 3 that well, actually, I'll include the 4th in there: Afromaniacs, Tactical Aid, Dodge, Eternity, keeping up what was necessary today in my eyes, and being the ones kind of in that pivotal area, the leaderboard that we know eyes are going to go towards the back, the home stretch of this stage of the event, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we touched on the fact that it is top 6 going on is going to make things a little bit more difficult, because that's usually where we see the slide, from the top teams to the teams that are kind of that next rung that are fighting for that top 8 spot. Well, now it's just top 6, so those teams still they're still keeping in lockstep with the other guys ahead of them. But it's kind of crazy when you're looking at your 3rd place and 4th place teams, and TSM and Sonics. They've only played one day apiece.
Yeah.
They're up there like that.
It is, yeah. And again, it's the usual suspects, right? As we've got Oath and Spicy Fish up on screen here. A decent comparison, actually. Obviously, Spicy Fish have played out all their games so far, and so have Oath. Yeah, both Oath and Spicy Fish playing out 10 games. So a decent comparison here between the damage as well. The one that stands out to me, Spicy Fish remaining kind of consistently active, and Oath kind of stepping up and picking up the pace on day 2. It's interesting to see them actually take the lead here on the damage overall.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it probably having to do with that last game that we just saw, right? I mean, Oath absolutely farming the lobby in that final game, so that got to see a little bit of a jump there. And there's the one that I'm sure everybody wants to see: TSM versus Sonics. Only 1 day played, 5 games apiece for each of these teams, and that's the kind of numbers they're putting up. That's spooky. That's spooky.
Yeah,
man.
A little terrifying for everybody else in the lobby, obviously.
Absolutely. Here's your overall leader so far. Snakers in 1st place with 22 kills, and would you look at that, Greg Shot GG in 2nd place overall with 20 kills.
Yeah, Afromaniacs have impressed me, man. It's almost like a 2020 gas cans-esque performance today, and just posting points in a very unorthodox way, but doing it consistently. So if you're gonna find a play style like that works for you, stick to it, man. So fair play to them. It's been exciting to watch them get themselves into a couple of different scraps.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the most part, they're winning them. They're maybe lose a couple here or there, but players here or there. But for the most part, they're winning their fights, and that is definitely reminiscent of those 2020 gas cans. As we check in on our damage dealers, Snakers and Balefrost up there at the top, but Jumbi, Keenan, and Nana at the top, in the top 5 for kills and damage. Who is this guy?
That's out of left field, I guess.
I know.
Again, for me, it's to see if the consistency's there. Fair play to him, but definitely nice to see a little bit of movement. A few different names at least appearing in these top 5s.
Oh yeah, love to see some mix-ups here as we check in on our assists overall. Roth and Keenan up there, just assisting the hell out of everybody. 17 and 16 apiece. Snakers right down below. Marcelic and Luke 12 in the top 5, despite only playing 5 games. Things you like to see if you're a TSM fan. Do we have any more of these? Of course we do.
Sure, why not?
Why not? There you go. Your chicken dinner winners, Sonics and Team Eternity. I'll have to check your screen. Those are indeed 2 different logos. One slightly bigger than the other. So
It's sort of like if you just squint at the second one, it almost looks like a mirror image, but
indeed.
There's going to be a cease and desist letter coming out from Biz at some point for that one.
Yeah, it's going to be very angrily written, I'm sure. But who knows? We'll see. But yeah, like you got to give credit to some of these, in particular, our teams that maybe weren't looking so hard at teams like TAC 8 that have been around for forever, and they're having a fantastic performance so far. Team Eternity, Dodge. We always like to see the up and coming teams performing well, and the fact that they're performing well with our top of the line NA, which as of right now is top of the world, is definitely a good thing to see for the future of North America PUBG.
Sure, I'll let you own that one. Not going to touch it. Not going to touch
Scaredy
it, man.
cat. Scaredy cat.
I'm just here to smile, man. That's all I'm here for.
Well, we'll be doing a lot of smiling here tomorrow when we are back for day number 3 in groups B and C. Hypoc will be here once again with yet another caster, as his revolving door of people who are willing to work with him just continues
Doing the rounds
to rotate. And but that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. And actually, really quick, before we go, I wanted to give a shout out to our LATAM leaderboard. The qualifiers going on for them as well. Just a quick update: through 9 matches, Latin Dominus in first place, and they are just absolutely dominating the lobby. They are 30 points lead, 4 wins. They're looking absolutely phenomenal. You can catch those games on, I believe it is PUBG Esports BRA, if you want to catch those in Portuguese, and PUBG Latam, all one word, if you want to catch them in Spanish. So those also going on at the same time as us, or if you want to check out VODs, that's the place to look. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I have been Porosaurus, he has been Hypoc, and we will see you tomorrow.